Okay.
Um,
All right.
and I'm a combination of descendancy of slavery with indigenous here in this particular area. Uh, Last 25 years in my adult life, I've worked in matters of Afro communities as well as indigenous communities. I specialize in human rights, issues like drug policy reform, um, issues such as access to water, to health, etc., all those type of matters in those different communities.
All right. So let me ask you, so you disagree with what about FBA? And does that disagreement also extend to ADOS or is it just FBA?
Okay, so in a very simple terms, I consider uh, people like Tariq Nasheed grifters, liars,
Okay.
uh, ableist to the nationalist supremacy concepts that have been plaguing this continent, Western Hemisphere, even before our processes of independence as such. Um, the criticism goes into the following aspect. Descendancy of slavery in the Western Hemisphere, aka from Argentina all the way to Canada, plus the Caribbean, is not an exclusive or monopolized or hegemonic control of those in the United States. It includes all that history and rich history that for right now we speak of last 500 years. Added to the fact that, for example, just last year, March it was, you had the first binational meeting or encounter of descendancy of slavery leaders in Georgia, Atlanta, between those of Colombia and the United States. Did Nasheed even speak about that? Did he even
Yeah.
show what was happening? No.
Yeah, but okay. So do you know where he's speaking from?
Ignorance, utter and
No,
complete
no. Okay.
ignorance.
Okay. So what about Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks? They speaking out of ignorance as well?
At least Yvette has a bit more sensibility to understand what America
No,
consists
no.
of
So,
in that
so
sense.
what I'm
But
trying to pin you to is that when the Emancipation Proclamation, right, emancipated persons, who else was in mind? Who else was who else was in mind besides who we call FBA ADOS today? Who else was in mind when they
why
said,
is
go
why
ahead?
in the history of the Western Hemisphere do we have to go to U.S. defaultism all the time? Why can we not have the honest conversation and recognizing each other's history, each other's commonality, each other's differences in regards of the experiences that we have lived in this Western Hemisphere since the
Yeah,
invasion of the
but
Europeans and the bringing of our ancestors here, as well as those like myself who are combined with indigenous of the resistance that indigenous did. An example, Pablo Prespere in Costa Rica, what was it, 50 years, 30 years prior to 1776, Pablo Presbre was doing resistance in the Talamanca in Costa Rica, and we won. We beat the Spaniards and we recuperated land in that sense. The point being here, and I think that this is where I want to start with a conversation. I'm gonna just ask you one question.
go ahead.
In the Western Hemisphere, aka Argentina to Canada plus the Caribbean, where are the majority of people who are descendancy of that slavery sitting right now? Where are they located?
I don't know where Brazil.
Throughout Latin America, being Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Caribbean, major points
Yeah, yeah,
where those descendants are.
yeah. Maybe Brazil. I'm not sure where all the slaves went and where they were at today.
Okay, so as I told you, yes, Brazil's one example. You have Colombia, you have Venezuela, you have the Guyanas, you have the whole Caribbean, you have Central America, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize, Guatemala, and then towards Mexico. So throughout the whole area, out of the current population of Latin America of 660 million people, 150 million people are of African descent of slavery, either monoparental or mixed in that sense. Okay, glad we can clear that out. So we can.
All right. So let me, okay. So, I mean, so we got to start from somewhere, right? So
Yeah.
now you start where, you got a starting point and we have one. Okay. And you said the Western Hemisphere. I feel like that in 2025 can be a, really a hard nothing burger as far as getting something done because maybe other governments were involved, other countries were involved, and I feel like that's going to just stretch us out. So I think to compartmentalize it, to break it up, to section off, it's a better effort. So for example, you have CARICOM, right? CARICOM had separated themselves from from over here, America and Haiti and even Africa, and they're doing something for the Caribbean and whoever else, right? But they are excluding black slaves that was here in America. Like we're not part of CARICOM, right? And whatever Haiti got going on, they're excluding um outside as well. And whatever countries in Nigeria, Kenya, whatever issues they had with their colonizers, they are excluding the rest of, the African countries and the diaspora. So over here, we have a government that's not only responsible for slavery that happened in the Western Hemisphere as you're talking about, but it extended beyond Emancipation Proclamation. So we're not just seeking damages for just the slave trade, the triangle slave trade that everybody was affected. Like you said, all the places you named, they were all affected by it. But now we're saying America went beyond slavery, right? They did something called um peonage. They did something called hired outs, right? Hiring out. They did something called this practice was nowhere else but here, by the way. This was a unique practice. So peonage, hired out, convict leasing, and the entire system of Jim Crow, okay, was experienced here and nowhere else. And the reason why, because those slaves you're talking about, they had colonizers. America is not considered a colonized country because they literally just practice slavery. And by definition, slavery only happened here. It's when you breed. So we look up slavery or the difference between American slavery and everywhere else, you'll see that they breeded slaves over here and they sold them. So people in those other regions were not getting sold. Their babies and their offspring were not getting sold. It wasn't a system of selling for the purpose of labor. So that only happened here, and this is why those places are called they're being colonized. You got Jamaica, you got Haiti, you got even Nigeria. These places are considered colonized, but America was never considered a colonized country. It was considered,
So
go ahead.
hold on. There's, I get there's so many things that need to be put forward in that sense. So first, let me go from back to the initial part of your conversation. First, what you call today America, aka United States, was colonized between French, English, Spanish, and some other Europeans. In fact, you fought a war to become independent for 8 years from 1176 or 1776 to 1784. 83 actually, ratification of your constitution on 84. So it's completely and utterly false. It's an ahistorical position to say, oh, America was not colonized. Let's be real on that fact. Because the history of your country, where you were born, is a matter of fact from 1776 onward, at least those 8 years, was fighting against the colonization and the control that the British Crown had, particularly on those 13 colonies on the Eastern Shore. Second, the distinction you're making in regards of the type of slavery that was happening between the British colonies, the Spanish colonies, French colonies, etc., has to do more with the attitude and the should be quote unquote say culture to how dehumanization worked in that era of Europe. But it also is very important to signal out, because you mentioned the CARICOM. Who alongside CARICOM went July of the year of almost 2 years ago, 2023 or 2023, in Belgium, who was alongside CARICOM pressuring Europe yet again in matters of reparations? Because if you're aware, you have the Mercosur, you have the CELAC, you have the OEAS. And to educate people, Mercosur is the organization of countries in the south section of the continent. CARICOM are the Caribbeans. CELAC is the community of Latin American states. And then the OEAS is the Organization of American States, which is housed right now in Washington, D.C. So I ask you, who was in July of 23 sitting with the Europeans and telling them regards of reparations?
What are you talking about? Western Hemisphere?
Western
Are you
Hemisphere. It was a
okay?
meeting between the CELAC
Okay,
alongside CARICOM
so let
to
me answer
the
that.
United Nations,
Right,
to the European nations, sorry, not
right,
United Nations.
right. So we understand over here that it's much easier to tackle small projects before a large project, right? So over here, I'm not, are you aware of those practices I gave you? Peonage, hired out, convict
I'm fully
leasing.
aware, yes. And those practices, the Spaniards did it in many other ways
Now I got you,
through,
but I'm saying right here. Okay, so hired
yes,
out. Are you because most people, not even like FBAs and ADOS, are familiar with the phrase hired out. You sure you know what hired out is?
I'm sure in let's put it very simple. Chattel slavery, the condition of chattel
No, so
slavery that was
so wait,
practiced
wait,
here, and
wait. So just
the
1 second,
different,
because I'm so this phrase the terms I gave you are not they're after chattel slavery, right? So chattel slavery is
I know.
done,
Hold
right?
on.
Okay,
I was
okay.
about to get to that point. Give me a second. Okay. The conditions of chattel slavery and the implementation of chattel slavery through the monarch way of implementing that. When the era of independence exploited, one of the major differences, and this goes back to your initial point, one of the major differences is that the majority of Latin American countries that became independent of Spain abolished slavery from the get-go, from the constitutional ratification as soon as they became nations.
Give me one
From
country, for example.
Sure, that would be give you an example. The 5 countries of Latin America, of Central America, that became independent on 1821. By 1824, on the ratification of the constitutions, that would be Honduras,
All right.
Nicaragua, Costa
Wait, that's what I said.
Rica.
Just give me one because I'm gonna look it up. Okay,
Okay.
so
Not only
Honduras.
that, Mexico, when it became independent, also abolished slavery through the ratification of their first constitution. We see that in Haiti, for example, and then onwards. So the difference was that, let's put it honestly, the United States founding fathers were, at least in the subject of anti-slavery, cowards, and they did a disservice to the founding of that of what today we call United States, because they did not abolish slavery from the get-go, from the constitutional ratification, because they were too shit-faced to do it, and it took a 90-year process and a civil war to abolish that slavery at a moment where by 1860s, 1850s, 1860s, the majority of that class and slave trade was at its death throes, to the point where even UK had abolished slavery prior to the United States.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so
So for example, Jamaica was 1833. I know about that. All right. And Jamaica didn't get their independence until 1962, and Nigeria is around the same year, 19, I think 60 was for them. So uh they abolished slavery in Jamaica in 1833, and 130 years later they got their independence. And Nigeria got their independence in 1962 as well. I don't even know if they were ever in
the
slavery.
very
I,
important. The
yeah.
process of independence in the Western Hemisphere lasted from 1776 to 1974, being Suriname the last country to become independent in the nation. And technically speaking, it
Wait,
still is ongoing because we have
who was that?
territorial controls. Like, for example, Puerto Rico is not independent. It's under the colonial control of the United States. The Virgin Islands under the control of United States. The
But when you say control, that's a little different than being colonized. Because colonized,
It's
from
a
what I
colonization.
wait,
It
so
United States has colonial control over Puerto Rico.
that wait, the reason why I say that, because when you look up colonization, right? It's an act, and what they do is they pretty much take over your resources, right, and your land. And so you're saying America is taking over Puerto Rico's resources?
Yeah, for over 100 years.
What resources do they have over there that America is taking advantage of?
From different forms of mineral, from aluminium to steel
Now, now,
to
now, keep in mind, are okay. So did they do it? Did they go into bed with the United States? Because remember, now watch this.
why?
Colonization means it's a one party system. We're coming, we're doing it regardless of what. But
Yeah,
if they
that's what's
had
happening in Puerto Rico.
okay, but if they
Puerto
had
Rico, the people who are born in
wait,
Puerto Rico
because
become
wait,
U.S. citizens.
what I'm saying is
Second or third class, but they become U.S.
no.
citizens.
What I'm saying is if I Google this and it turns out the Puerto Rican government signed contracts with the United States, that's no longer
Then you're defending
colonization.
colonization. You're
No,
defending colonization, and you're
no.
defending U.S.
Okay,
territorial
no.
control in
Listen
that
what I'm
sense,
saying.
and you're excusing the
You can't take
continuing of
no. I'm not
imperialism in
saying that,
that
but
sense.
you gotta listen to me is you can't take part in your own colonization, is what I'm saying.
Oh man,
Because if
look,
you take part of it, it's no longer colonization. It's that's called a contract.
look.
So like that was my big problem with Nigeria because
Okay,
they
we're
would
not
say
talking about
Nigeria.
Africa right now.
No, no. But
We're
no,
talking about
but
Western Hemisphere right now.
this is an analogy I'm giving you, right? I'm giving an analogy. I'm saying that Nigeria, uh, people will lie and say, the British came over there and just conquered. That's not what happened. The British came over there and asked for permission to have control of certain things, and they agreed, and they got proceeds of the profit. Like they got, you know, they got paid basically. All right, they got payouts for what the British did to them. So what I'm saying is, so now that's not to me, that's not colonization. That's a contract where you didn't get the best. It's almost like a rap deal, like a rapper
Okay,
signed with Sony.
so let me explain the term neocolonialism to you. Neocolonialism, as implemented particularly on the turn of century, or particularly between, I would tell you, 1850s up till today, refers to the fact of um, capital control over the market, disguised as a agreement between parts. It also constitutes a subjugation of the self-determination possibilities of those people you are entering an agreement on, is a imperialistic approach as to how then you control those particular areas. Therefore, it's an indefensible the fact that today Puerto Rico has never been free and is a
But are they
territorial
fighting?
control of the United States.
But are
And
they fighting for freedom?
oof, they've been fighting for a long time. Many people in Puerto
In
Rico.
in what
Others
way?
do not fight.
Like
Uh,
for example,
you have two major movements in
Wait.
Puerto Rico,
Let me say real
but we're
fast.
focusing too much in Puerto Rico. I
No,
want to
yeah,
go a little
because
bit
you brought it
broader in
up.
that
You
sense.
brought it up. But what I'm gonna say is this, because you brought it up. If the people not fighting, then there's no problem. Like for example, A. Philip Randolph over here, FBA A. Philip Randolph Adolphs had led the March to Washington with Dr. King, right? Hundreds of thousands of FBA Adolphs were fighting in of course, a peaceful, non-violent fight, because they were against the control of America, the racism, this systematic system, white supremacy system, right? So we actually fought in a peaceful way where we went out and gathered hundreds of thousands of like-minded people and went to Washington. What I'm saying to you, sir, is that that has to happen across the board. If people are really truly dissatisfied,
So,
and
for example, you asked me about who resisted the control and
not
colonization
not
and
just who,
territorial in
I
Puerto
need damn
Rico.
near everybody. All
For
right, yeah.
example, when it happened in 1898, you had people like Jose de Diego who sought independence from the United
No, but I'm
States.
talking about now,
1900s.
2025.
Look, you're asking me in a broader sense.
No, I'm being specific now. I'm saying 2025. If they want independence,
Bro,
why
they've been
aren't
fighting
they?
from 1898 to today. There
Okay,
has
all right,
been
right.
many examples of
So
fighting.
can you show me
So
a
your
large fight?
limitation in that sense, right now, for
I don't
example,
think they're up. I don't think they're as upset as you with where they are right
oh,
now.
there are many people who are of Boricua
Okay, so you
who
say
are
many.
constantly and systematically. I'll give you an example.
Wait. So you say many. Are you talking
The
about hundreds and thousands of them or just 10, 20, 100?
You remember the referendum that was held on November 6th, 2012, about 10 years ago, with 54% voting to change Puerto Rico's status, but the federal government took no action to do so? Just
Yeah,
10 years ago, you would see that of that 54% voting, you had at least half of that in that arena of saying it's either we change the status or we become independent.
I need to see
And
a large
look,
demonstration.
it doesn't matter what you need to see.
Well,
What
you need to
it,
see it. The world needs to see it so the world can get behind them.
dude, Latin America has been behind them since 1898.
No, but we need Puerto Rico to be behind themselves. We need to see a
And
large demonstration, like because you
uh-huh.
remember when we're in the social media, everything's online now. Where the
Look,
online benefits you. We need to see a hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans
for
opposing.
if we look at it, the 2020 Puerto Rican general election, the Puerto Rican Independence Party achieved 13.6% of the vote, a significant increase from 4 years ago. And we're seeing that increase ever more slightly, including with the arrival of Trump.
Yeah,
But
but
this is
I
the
need to
thing.
see it.
This is the point of you trying to counter very badly, may I
No,
add,
I'm
the
not
the
counter.
point that
I'm
United
saying this
States
is how
is
things
not
are done.
colonized or has no control since 1898 on
Yeah,
Puerto
I don't believe
Rico.
they're colonizing them.
And look at what you jumped. You jumped at the fact of me mentioning that the era of independence went from 1776 to 1974, being the first nation to become independent, uh, what is modern day Eastern Shore of the United States. And the last country to become independent is Suriname. And actually, just 2 or 3 years ago, we saw Barbados abandoning the Commonwealth and finally becoming an independent nation away from the Commonwealth in that sense. Jamaica, the conversations are after what happened with Barbados, that is happening. But look at what you jumped at. You jumped at the fact that Puerto Rico has not been an independent nation since 1898 and has been in utter and complete control of the United States. And that form of neocolonization has so many different impacts, society wise, politically wise, economically wise. So to then, I gave you concrete data. I gave you hell. I gave you one of the principal people from the get go, from 1898, Jose de Diego, who was a well-known Puerto Rican and legislator at that time, who said, I don't want to be part of the United States. I want to be independent. And from that onward moment, from 1898 to today, the the sentiment of independence is still very present in Puerto Rico. So for you to have the audacity of saying, I need to see it without recognizing the historical context and the historical context that leads up to today, is it just shows to us that you didn't there's a grade of disingenuity and dishonesty in the conversation, because then you're just trying to attempt to cherry pick in that sense the points of the conversation. But if we go back to this point of conversation, is, and I'm going to be very definite with you and I'll shut up in that moment. One, the history of the Western Hemisphere pertaining to indigenous and descendancy of slavery, pertaining to the last 500 years, and out of those 500 years, the last 200 to 250 years, pertaining to the realities and the impacts, recognizing each other's particular history and the regions of the Western Hemisphere, recognizing that in the circumstance of United States, unlike Latin America, you did not abolish slavery from the get-go, from the ratification of the Constitution. Within 90 years after that ratification and the setting of the country, you had to go to a civil war. And after that civil war, your country set an apartheid state for 100 years that ended in the 60s of the last century. And the last 60 years, your own country has established via the international laws and through a one rule fits all, one of the major impacts towards our communities,
All
which
right.
is the war on drugs.
So, so, so it says that United States did colonize them back in 1893. Okay, now the question now is to you, because I know the answer now. I Googled it. Does currently in 2025, does Puerto Rico want to be independent?
13.6% of the people say yes.
All right, so let me show you what I got. Right? Can you see my screen?
Well, you weren't Googling, but I know this by the top of my head, man.
Okay, all right. And now look, then you got to show me something because I'm gonna show you something.
You're showing it on Wikipedia.
No, no,
Again,
no, no, no. I'm not on Wikipedia. I'm not.
you're Wikipedia.
I'm.
You
No, no,
weren't
no.
Googling because you don't know the history, my man.
No, I don't.
And
Okay,
again,
you're right,
I
right.
cited I
Wait,
cited the
wait, hold on, hold
13
on.
in the
Let me
2020
just
Puerto
let me
Rican
just
general
rebut.
election,
I got it.
13.6%
Okay.
of people voted for the independent party or the Puerto Rican Independence Party.
All right. So look.
That incremented by tenfold the 2.1% of votes back on
All
2016.
right. So can you see my
So
screen?
yes, I'm seeing your screen.
So this is wrong. When it says 97.18% chose statehood, 1.5 favor independence, and 1.32% chose to remain the Commonwealth status. You're saying this is wrong.
What is the source of that?
Okay. Um, it might be Wiki. Yeah. I don't want to do Wiki. I don't want to do Wiki. Let's we go to okay. Let me get a better source.
So again, I
Okay.
cited you a factual sense of the history. I
All
cited
right.
you.
So I'm at Harvard College. I'm sure that this is more credible. Yeah, because Wiki is suspect. So I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna do
Okay.
Wiki. All right. So anyway, good. Continue, and I'm gonna read this at Harvard.
So you and I, hold on. I'm gonna turn off the camera because, uh, okay. So out of all the things I've spoken, one, in the matters of the um, in the matters of the history of the Western Hemisphere, including the United States, have I said anything that is inaccurate? Have I said anything that is not based on the historical facts?
No, I don't think so. But
Okay.
let me ask you this. So, well, let me just say this. Then I ask. Yeah, I don't believe you said anything incorrect. However, okay, you do know that most people, especially right now, especially Black Americans, they want to know what's going on with reparations in America because because we recently and still are being discriminated against in housing, job, and the prison, the school to prison pipeline. So these are things affecting us now, not historically, not some 100 years ago, right? So when something is affecting you now and something affected you in the past, people tend to address right now the present first, and then they work themselves back to the past. That's also with alcoholism, drug addiction, suicide, all that stuff. People address the present first because that's directly affecting you, and then they work towards the past. So for us in America, right, Black people, for us to consider what you're saying, we got to first address what's in front of us, what's directly affecting us right now for getting ahead and competing with these racist white people, right? So now we see that there were laws in place for 100 years to lock us out of America's wealth. So much so that we own and control less than 0.5%, right? While white people own and control more than 99% of the American wealth. And America is a rich, rich, powerful country, first world country. So we are looking at how that was able to happen. So when we look at welfare assistance that was given to whites since 1862 Homestead Act, all the way down to today, housing segregation, the redlining, and then we see how we were locked out. So again, I'm talking about things that directly affect us, not something that happened and it was bad, but we're talking about still ongoing, right? That got us locked in a position that we can't get ourselves out of. So it's like that's our main. So just imagine a person wakes up and he's in a prison, a dungeon. He want to know, yeah, the path might be bad, but he want to know why am I in this dungeon? Like, what did I do? And he's not getting answers. Okay, so the path might be bad, but his most important question is, why am I in this dungeon? Okay, so for us, we are looking back saying, why are we locked out of this wealth? Why, no matter what we do, we're just always in this position of a second class citizen, right? So before we can address things that happen and the things in the Western Hemisphere, we're looking at our current condition and like, why are we so damn poor in the richest country in the world, right? That's an obvious question. So much so that you have people who immigrate here ask the same thing, but more in a condescending way. As you might imagine, they say, "Hey, man, how are you Black Americans worse off than me? And I just got here, and you've been in this country since its inception, right?" So that reality causes confusion, not just with us,
So,
but for anybody who immigrate here. So our main concern is right now, and that's why you had this whole FBA ADOS thing, and it has nothing to do with uh, anybody outside of white people. Like our problem right now is white people, like white supremacy, everything you said. And that's our problem. And it's with this government, because this government deliberately had a hand in our current condition today, right? So we are calling them out and we're calling for compensation. We're calling for reparations, like for our current condition. Now, what I'm saying to you is if we had your support, right, and more people like yourself to support what happened to us, because right now, think about it. Like we are, and not to be bashful, but we are the wave, right? Whatever we do, it seems to go international. It seems to catch on. So now you're talking about you're talking about reparations. You're talking about colonialism. You're talking about slavery, and so are we. What I'm saying is, if you guys get behind us and let us make that the wave, make that the talking point, which like we do everything. Everything that we have a concern with becomes the talking point of the
So,
world.
so let me put this in a very strict way.
Yeah.
We do not respond to supremacy. We do not respond to imperialism.
When you say we,
Hold on.
who's that? Who's the we?
Latin America,
Okay.
many of us who are working on this. As I told you, July 2023, we were there in Brussels through the CELAC.
And what happened? What was the result?
Yeah. You know, where can I send you this link? I think I can put it on your
Yeah,
chat.
You can put the link in the chat.
All
Yeah.
right. This is the declaration. And for example, there are several news that came out. One of them, very important. This is Routers. Routers telling us what happened there. And I'm just saying telling us because I was there. European nation says slavery inflicted horrendous harm. That's just one example of the effects that had in that sense.
Right.
Another example would be the president, the president of Portugal admitting to that to
okay, so watch this.
to the things that happened in that sense. Now,
okay,
hold on before you kick in
because
you did mention a lot. I want to make
Portugal is different from the United States. That's what I'm trying to point out to you.
Hold on, I want to make 2 points on this.
Go ahead.
First, we have always been supporting you as equals.
I don't believe
not underneath you or not above you just because you are U.S. citizens. No, we work as equals. And as long as you do not get that through the thick skulls that North Americans have,
we don't see your support. I'm gonna be honest. And by the way, we're not equals because our voice.
You don't see our support. For example,
no.
When the situation happened of George Floyd, there was protests from Mexico down to Argentina plus the Caribbean. In fact, in my own country, now something interesting. I'll bring that up later about Marcus Garvey. In my own country, we protested in regards of the situations of what were happening in the United States. And kid you not, in the Afro community, a gringo hoisted the Confederate flag, the Dixie flag, in Costa Rica. It did not last long because we reminded him of our history and William Walker. And we reminded him that we will burn that Dixie flag if ever it's hoisted in our country. We will shit on the so-called Southern heritage because those fuckers came here trying to invade us in 1850, between 1851 and 1857. We don't forget that. But not only that, throughout the international community, we continuously pressured the embassies and the Department of State in regards to the issues that were happening in the United States. So let's be very frank.
Please.
The problem of people like Tariq is that they ain't got no dignity.
Wait. Hold on. Before we go there, what was your thing about Marcus Garvey? Now, hold it. Now,
Marcus Garvey. Wait. I got your question.
All right, wait. Hold on.
When he first
wait. 1 second. Though the channel we both were on, right? We were both in the chat. Notice how I'm inviting those guys because they had all these questions for FBA, right?
Look.
Wait.
I'm my own person.
I got it.
Whatever they decide or not decide as individuals, it's up to them.
I'm not asking you to speak on their behalf. You're a witness. I'm subpoenaing you as a witness. I'm saying that they were woofing, right? And they had a lot to say. And I'm in the chat like you're in the chat. How come they never said FBA unit, hop on? Okay, because they had all these weird questions that they did not want answered because I'm in the chat, like you're in the chat.
Ask
And oh wait,
the
wait.
owner of the
Okay.
page,
No,
ask
no,
and
no,
talk
but
directly to
no, but
Kofi.
hold on, stop, stop.
I can't speak on
I'm
that
not.
sense. Do
Yeah,
not
but
obligate me to speak on that
hold on.
matter
Just
because I'd
relax.
rather
Just
speak on
relax.
the issues and
I
not
got, I
on
got, I got, I
this
got, I got, I got, I got it. Just relax.
I think you can agree on that. Okay,
Okay, cool. But that's something for the chat to know as well. Okay, that we were
it's
both
your
on it.
page.
I got it.
Don't
But
address it to
listen,
me. Address it to your chat.
yeah, well, to you too, because we were both there, and they're talking trash about me, right? About me, they're talking trash about me, and I'm just saying I'm here. Like, why not send a link? All
Look,
right, so now,
I'm known Coffee for a short while. If
okay,
you
yeah,
pop up into his StreamYard, he pops you in and starts talking.
yeah, sure.
I've
Now,
seen him do it
hold
in
on.
that
Yeah,
sense.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. But everybody
That's
sends
all
an
I
invite.
can say.
I got it. But have you ever seen him accept an invite?
Yes,
Okay,
I
so
have.
good. So now he should accept his invite, right? Because my channel is a lot larger than his. So so now so he should accept the invite to come over here. Now guys like him are totally unqualified to talk to me about this topic, and so are you, by the way. But I want
How
you
am I
to.
unqualified?
Okay, I'm gonna show you right now. So Marcus Garvey, go ahead. I'm gonna show you
Okay.
how little you know about Marcus Garvey. Go ahead.
Uh, Let me ask you something.
Yes.
The first time Marcus Garvey exited Jamaica at 23 years old, 1910. What was the first countries he
What?
arrived before
So
United States?
okay, so I know he was studying about FBA history. I believe he was in London. I know he's a European country. I think he was in London, and I can't recall all the countries, but I know for a fact he was in London studying for sure.
Okay.
Good.
So by 1910, Marcus Garvey arrived at Costa Rica, my country. He set up in Limon in the Caribbean section, which is the Afro community section of Costa Rica. He even set up the Black Line Star here, and he helped and attempted to
And
push against the United Fruit Company, nowadays Chiquitita. After several issues in Costa Rica, he exited and he went to Panama.
wait.
He went to
So what happened?
Colombia.
So was he successful in Costa Rica?
To a degree, yes. In
No,
fact,
no.
the famous
Did he accomplish his goals in Costa
the
Rica?
in many senses, yes, and now there's
Oh
no.
shit. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Black Line. Are you aware of the historical Black Line building in Limon, Costa Rica, that recently unfortunately burned down? That it was a historical building that Marcus Garvey helped build in the center of the
How did he
Limon
get the
city.
how did he get the funds to build that building?
Uh, there were three major aspects at that time, because Black Line was built by 22, 25, if I'm not incorrect. And he funded that, as history goes. I would have to continuously verify on that, through the means that he obtained after he arrived in the United States, and
Oh,
means
so
here
all
in
that
Costa
scamming
Rica.
money. I got it. So it was all that scamming money. Okay,
So,
so
okay,
yeah.
not only through the United States, but also through Costa Ricans who helped and
No,
put
no, no,
money
no,
forward.
no.
So it was a joint venture between his
No,
adventures and his mobilizations.
no, no, no,
So
no, no. Most of okay, his first experience with FBA, he raised $600,000. He never did that in Costa Rica, and that's his first attempt raising. So he raised millions in just America alone. So he didn't need no money from Costa Rica. He generated millions.
look,
He had wait, hold on. It's reported. But first of all, everybody who's an FBA, who's a part of this UNI bullshit, they all was paying monthly fees. Nobody in Costa Rica was paying monthly fees. And it's
oh yeah,
reported
no,
he
there were people in
okay.
Costa Rica paying monthly
Well,
fees.
hold on. It's reported. So let me ask you this: in America, it's reported he had how many followers?
Dude, this isn't a fucking competition.
No. It's
What are you
no.
trying to
We're
get to?
okay. We're
What
doing
is,
math. Okay, relax,
no, no,
relax,
no.
relax.
The point being is
You
Marcus
asked me a
Garvey
question.
went
Wait.
around
Hold on. Wait.
Western Hemisphere,
Hold on.
and
Wait.
yes, one of his
Hey,
major
hold on,
bases
sir. Sir, hold on.
United States, but alongside Costa
Hold on.
Rica.
Sir, hold on. You asked me a question about the first countries he visited. Okay, so now I'm gonna first of all I teach chess. All right. So I'm a smart guy. I teach chess. I know about strategy, tactical, and shit planning. So I'm not gonna allow people to ask me questions when I can't ask the questions back. That's never gonna happen. Okay, because if that's what we're doing, don't ask me, just talk. Don't ask me more questions. So if you ask me, this is quid pro quo here. If you ask me a question, I'm going to ask the question back, and my question back is relevant. I'm asking about how many followers is reported he had here in America. You either know or you don't know. It's okay if you don't know.
First, first, quid pro quo means something for something or a favor for a
Even
favor.
exchange. Got it.
In
Go
the
ahead.
essence of this type of debate,
No,
there's no
it's
such thing as a
no,
quid pro
no.
quo
It's
because
not
we
debate. It's not. No. Okay, dude.
it is a
It,
form of debate. We're
look.
debating.
No, we're
We're
not. No, we're not.
contesting each other's
No,
points
I only
and we're
debate my equals.
generating in that
Okay,
sense. Okay,
I only
so
debate
if
my
you do
equals
not
for
like
one.
labels, why are you labeling and why are you then deciding?
I never said I don't like labels. But I'm asking a simple question. It's reported. You can Google it. It's reported. How many followers? Because we're gonna do
Again,
math. No, wait,
throughout,
hold on, wait. Because I'm trying to
why
point
does
out a
that matter? Why does
because
that matter?
I'm
Give
pointing
me
out
a
where most of
reasoning
okay,
as
got
to
it.
why we're in a
Okay,
competition.
so we're
Which
not in
country in the Western
competition.
Hemisphere had more followers for
So
Marcus
because
Garvey?
we know he had
What
more
is
over
the
here. That's not
relevance on that?
that's not, so I'm gonna ask you a question for you. You don't know. Two
What
million.
would Marcus Garvey tell you at
Okay.
this moment
Okay.
of you
Well,
exposing that?
he ain't
He
gonna
will
tell me
tell
shit
you
because he a goddamn scammer. We're gonna get to that. Um, now,
he most possibly will look at you and say that's a foolish argument.
no, he
Because
wouldn't
at the
because
end,
well,
all of
first of
us
all,
here
I'm gonna say
are
go. I'm
of
gonna say
that
Garvey
history.
must go. If I ever see that clown, I'm gonna say what my FBA leader said, my ancestors said. They said Garvey must go. So I'm
No,
gonna
no,
say the
see,
same thing W. Du Bois said, A. Philip Randolph said, and other black leaders, prominent black leaders said. I'm gonna say Garvey must go if I ever see that damn scammer. Now, 2 million. So now this is not just for you. I'm speaking to you, but through you to the chat. I gotta don't forget, we're talking to each other,
same here.
but
We're
but
talking
but
to
there's
each other,
also
but I'm talking to your chat too.
right exactly. So if I ask you a question, they don't know either. Okay, they're not as well studied as me on this topic right here. I don't think
Well, then
anybody is really.
what's
So
funny is, hold on, you did say I was supposedly unqualified, and yet here we are, where I can,
I give everybody a chance, by
to
the way,
cook it in any
because
to
I
cook
don't
it
bully.
sense, huh?
I said I give everybody a chance. I don't bully. Now,
Okay. However, you've come to realize that I'm extremely well qualified
well,
in the
not on Marcus
historical.
Gar, not on Marcus Garvey. You're not okay. So I'm gonna prove it.
Again,
So
you couldn't even answer to me when he was 23 years
I'm
old
talking about
when he
Marcus Garvey in
arrived in
America. I okay,
1910.
okay.
I'm talking
So
about Marcus Garvey
all
in
right,
America too.
okay, okay.
America is not
All right,
just your country.
all right. Oh yeah, okay. Well, I'm talking about the
That's
United
a
States of
fact.
America. Okay, got it. My fault. Let me clarify. Let me be more specific. That's my fault. That's my fault.
See, that's your fault right
Yeah, yeah.
there.
And guess what? Guess what? I'm a guy who can be wrong, right? I don't want my chat to believe I can't be wrong because when I am wrong, they're gonna stop believing what I gotta say. So I like to show my chat I'm human and I'm able to evolve and learn. I don't want them to believe I'm superhuman. Okay, so I don't mind admitting a fault and I gotta work on it. So you're right. By the way, you're right. I gotta work on that. The United States of America. I'm thinking about Marcus Garvey. Okay, now I would love for anybody, not you. So I've been putting this challenge out there. I've been on other people's platforms commenting. Nobody shows up because they don't really know Marcus Garvey. They believe in the romanticizing, over sensationalizing doctrine. I watched and read countless stuff on this guy. Okay, in America, in the United States of America. So it's reported he had up to 2 million followers. That's not confirmed, but that's just reported. Okay, but he definitely had hundreds of thousands of followers. Okay, so but they were all paying a monthly fee, 35 cents, and some more, and plus the stocks that he sold, right? So now, and then we can move off Marcus Garvey. But do you believe he was a scammer or fraudster? Yes or no? It's just a yes or no
Look,
question.
the evidence tells us that he did a lot of stuff that to today's standards could be seen
No, no, no. I'm talking
questionable.
about no, I'm talking about back then. Did he defraud his investors? Yes or no? Way back in 1914, 15. Did he defraud his investors? Yes or no?
There's no evidence towards that.
Yeah, yes, it is because he sold them. As a matter of fact, a lot of them complain. A lot of people complain. By the way, so there's documents of investors complaining. So what he did was he sold stocks to a ship that he did not own, and that ship was called the Orion. Okay, so he had brochures and images of a ship he did not yet own. He lied and said he owned it, and the investors invested, and then he bought it or attempted to buy it. But by then, J. Edgar Hoover swept in like an angel of God to deport his ass. So we do have evidence. That's why I say most people on Marcus Garvey is not qualified to have this conversation with me because most people just go off the over sensationalized or
So,
romanticized history of this guy. This
so
guy was a scammer, a
yeah,
defroster.
I'm not a defender of Marcus Garvey,
Okay, so
but the
so now
point being here is
go ahead.
to the major context
Wait. So
of his
because
contributions
yeah,
towards
okay,
the
good. Go ahead.
conversation of the reality at that moment and to today. And some good points he had, especially his understanding that and this goes to the point we've been orbiting around.
But yeah, so get
Okay.
to it and land your plane
Yeah,
quickly like
I'm
I
gonna
do.
land very
Okay,
quickly on my
very
point.
quickly because I think
All
I'm
right.
very smart, so I can get to a point, drop it, and get off and
Okay.
come back.
I'm about to drop it right now if you allow.
Please, 1 minute
Point
30 seconds
being here
max.
is in AK, America, North, Central, South, and Caribbean.
Marcus Garvey, right? No, I'm speaking about America only because I don't know about his international
There's
dealings.
no such thing as an America only.
Okay, United States of
You
America
admitted to that.
okay, his work amongst Black Americans, Negroes,
Black US
color,
residents.
FBA, ADOS. Okay, those folks. Okay, I'm speaking about his dealings with us
Okay.
specifically. I'm saying they were fraudulent. He was a liar and a charlatan. And this is what black leaders at that time called him to his face, like W. Du Bois and A. Philip Randolph called him to his face, a scammer, a liar, and a defroster. To his face. They didn't wait until he left and got deported. They told him to his face, like, dude, what are you doing? He's doing everything opposite of what our activists were doing. First of all, A. Philip Randolph, I know you know nothing about him. Is that true?
About what?
A. Philip Randolph.
Uh no,
Yeah, yeah.
I may know a little bit on it. I
Okay.
know it's from US in that sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Again,
So wait. Hold on.
uh,
So not just you. I know most FBAs don't know shit about and ADOS and whoever else, white America. Okay. So he is called the father of the civil rights movement. So now he's supposed to, and I'm not saying for you, I'm saying for my people. If he's the father of the civil rights movement, then we should for sure know who this guy is because we know who Dr. King is and everybody else that came afterwards. But how do we don't know the guy who fathered it, right? It says A. Philip Randolph. Okay, so A. Philip Randolph was a time with Garvey, and he never liked Garvey, and he told Garvey to his face he never liked. He thought he was a scammer and a charlatan, which he really was. For one, let me just update you. Garvey had this back to Africa ideology that he never really was successful in Jamaica. So if you live in Jamaica, why are you not doing a back to Africa with the Jamaicans first and develop a proof of concept and then come to us and say, hey man, look guys, I was able to get my people or a large part of my people or some of my people into Africa successfully, and now they're free from colonialism, white supremacy, and the white man. Okay, so guys, join this movement, and you guys too will see the promised land, right? No, he tried it in Jamaica. They said kick rocks. He ran over here, and by the way, he never been to Africa, never in his life. But somehow he's gonna get us over there. Okay. So he was able to buy a couple of ships by scamming, selling stocks things he did not own, and he bought a couple of ships. They all sunk except for one. One actually took a crew of FBAs to Liberia, by the way. And the Liberian president said, get thee behind me, Satan. The Liberian government knew nothing about Marcus Garvey or no deal that he's supposed to bring folks to his country. So he put out a memo after he arrested those FBAs and deported them. He put out a memo to Marcus Garvey and everybody else in America. He said, "Don't come here again." So Marcus Garvey, this plan back to Africa, to Liberia, the president said, "Don't come here again." I don't know what that crazy man talking about, but don't come here again.
So you're not going to mention that Garvey did get sentenced in the United States, went to jail in 1923?
Yeah, yeah, he deserved it. He deserved
Okay.
every last.
So the point being
He should have
is,
got hung. Really.
look, what is interesting on this, like you said, on the point of even if you right now have a picture of that grifter, also a scammer, somebody
No, no,
who
no.
is
Wait.
scamming
Okay,
people out.
prove it. No. Prove he's a scammer right now. He's talking about Tariq Nasheed. So right now the clock. You got all time, right? You got
So
10 minutes.
in
Prove he's a
in
scammer.
this sense, you forgive one
Exactly.
and do not forgive the other one.
Exactly.
Because you have a
No.
more
Prove he's a
political
scammer first,
inclination
because
into that.
no. Okay, so what I did was I proved Garvey was a scammer because he sold stocks so it should be didn't own. Okay, now you prove Tariq Nasheed's a scammer. Go.
And why are you defending them? I'm
No,
not defending
I'm
Marcus
not.
Garvey.
No,
Why are you defending Tariq if
because
he's not
well,
your leader?
no,
And if
no.
you're defending from him?
Wait. I defend you. You're not my leader, but if somebody lie on you. I'm so my name is Unbiased Ron, by the way. So in the chat, that's me too, Unbiased Ron. That's my name for a reason. And my nickname is the Can Man. I'm the Can Man, right? Like Oscar the Grouch. I'm the Can Man because anybody can get it. Americans, Africans, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, you can, and my mother can. Anybody can get it. So I don't pull punches. I'm not a respected person. Anybody can get it. Even my worst enemy. If you lie on that person, I'm gonna say it's a lie. Okay, so I don't stand on no falsehoods. So if somebody
So
says, so look, if somebody says Garvey did something he didn't do, even Garvey, if somebody say, hey, yo, Garvey went to Japan, I'm gonna say you're a liar. Okay, if somebody says Garvey hung a black man, I'm gonna say you're a liar because I stand on truth to the best of my ability. So now, if you say Tariq now she's a scammer, prove it or stop lying. See, I won't do that. I won't say something I can't prove. So I said Garvey was a scammer, defraudster, and I just proved it. And I could go way worse on that guy. He's a clown. Now you got to show me Tariq is a scammer, or you got to take it back because you're gonna lose credibility for yourself, for me, and the chat in the future. Because this is being recorded, and I do re-air recordings a lot, and I do it on purpose. So right now we got 13 people watching. But during the days when I get most of
so
my views,
we know Sir Major was convicted of fraud and sentenced to 14
I don't
months.
even know who the hell that is.
It
Okay.
was an FBA member very close to
Okay.
Tariq
And
Nasheed.
guess what? There's
And the
43 million
wondering
of us.
is,
And my
and the
cousin
wondering
NBA,
is, hold
and
on,
my
hold on.
cousin was locked in for murder. So
Okay,
what the hell
so
that mean?
the question now is,
But you said
how
Tariq
much did
Nasheed.
Tariq Nasheed know
No,
of the
well,
fraud that was being
that
committed right
okay,
under his nose, or
brother.
was he part of it?
Brother, he listen. All of those
So
are.
in the same way that you celebrated
Hold on, no,
people
stop.
calling Philip Anderson, A. Philip,
Stop.
calling Garvey
You're okay. You're
a scammer,
going too
etc.,
far. Well,
before
hold on.
his
You
trial
went
in
respect. See,
1923, it's
see,
freedom of speech. This is freedom of speech in
no.
that sense.
Right.
If I want to say
Hold on,
Tariq Nasheed is a
hold on.
grifter, he's a
But
liar,
okay,
he's a xenophobic
but
fool,
I gotta hold you to a
and
standard. Hold on.
I have my
Now
suspicions
I
that
don't
he
want
may
to,
be defrauding the
brother.
people.
Now you just said come upon coming on here. You said, hey, is it gonna be
So why
fussing?
are you defending him? Why
Hold
are
on,
you stuck on that point?
just hold on. The chat. I
So
wanted this.
again, it's okay for you to
Wait. Now you're talking.
attack
I can't
Garvey
wait. I don't
for
want to
his
mute you
faults.
because you're purposely trying to bow out. Okay, so
No,
now,
I'm gonna stand by what I
okay,
said.
cool.
I
So
consider
I gotta mute you because you won't stop. You gotta stop. Let me talk. Okay, so upon coming on here, you asked me, is it gonna be yelling, screaming? I said no. I promise you, it's gonna be a dialogue, respectful dialogue between you and myself. You're the one showing disrespect. You're the one becoming chaotic. So brother, you don't know the platform, what we do here. I'm trying to let you know how it works over here. If you say something, you gotta prove it on the spot if we call you on it. Okay, I said Garvey was a scammer. I proved it on the spot. You went to Sir Major. I don't know who the hell that is. Don't care. Okay.
It
Now,
was
wait,
it was a
hold on.
member directly
What?
related to Tariq Nasheed
But
and
no,
his
no.
organizations.
I don't give a
So
damn.
somebody under
Wait,
his nose
Okay,
did
I'm still talking.
fraud.
I'm still okay. He's still talking over me. Stop. I muted him again. He's talking over me because you mentioned Sir Major, but you first mentioned Tariq Nasheed. So I don't want speculation and that type of stuff. All this, investigation on Google. I want you to you said Tariq was a scammer, not Sir Major. So I want you to now prove Tariq is a scammer or just take it back. But don't look like this in front of this chat, which is
Okay.
really the world,
Again,
because this is recorded. So
I'm
now,
gonna reiterate my words.
okay, cool. Thank you.
I personally consider Tariq Nasheed a fraud of an
And that's
individual
your
in
opinion.
every sense of the
Okay.
word.
That
He's a
that's your
liar, a grifter in the same sense that
okay.
you consider Marcus Garvey. He's
No,
in the
no, no, no,
same
no, no.
level as
It
Marcus
ain't the
Garvey
same sense
historically.
because no, I proved Marcus Garvey sold
Look,
stocks to a
look.
shipping not
At
not
this
own.
point,
That's
you
scamming.
do not like
That's a fraudster.
my expression of Tariq
I don't
Nasheed because
mind
you
you.
consider him.
I don't mind your expression. Don't put that on me. I don't mind your expression. You
Your
are you
reaction is
okay.
contradictory
So
to that.
so
That you
so
are
so
minding.
just slow down and listen to me, brother. Tariq Nasheed is a grown man that loves to hold his own. I don't need to hold his own for him. Okay. But for the sake of integrity, if you and I are talking about people, which is okay, but one thing I'm not going to do to you is say that the president of Puerto Rico is a whoremonger,
There's no
right?
president in Puerto Rico.
Right.
It's a governor.
I don't know, but I'm just saying what I'm not going to do is say the governor of Puerto Rico is a whore.
If you want to say that the president of Costa Rica, Rodrigo Chavez, is a fraud,
No,
I'm gonna applaud you
no. I didn't say
tremendously and tell
fraud.
you yes, he's a
I
fraud.
didn't say fraud. I didn't say fraud. I said
I'll say it out loud.
hold
My
on, hold on.
president, Rodrigo Chavez in Costa
Okay,
Rica,
all
is a
right.
fraud.
You see, and this is why I say you're not my equal, right?
No, no, no. Again,
This is why I say that. Okay, because you're
let me
insecure.
say it this way:
Wait,
the
no,
president
no.
of Costa
I'm
Rica.
still talking right now. Wait, stop, slow
Okay,
down. And this is why I say you're not my equal, and you're proving it. Because if you're my equal, you'll be secure and confident. Just to slow down, be quiet for a second. Like when you was talking about the Western Hemisphere, I was quiet because I'm confident in my information. I know I'm him, so I don't gotta interrupt and be disruptive. I can listen and wait for my turn opportunity to respond, which I did respectfully. I let you go all the way in, and then I asked a question here and there, and now I'm talking. Now you made the claim, not me. So here you don't know this, so I'm not gonna fault you, but I'm gonna let you know now. Warning: on this platform, in this community, by the way, we have a phrase which we say "source up" or "shut up," meaning that if you say something and you can't prove it, shut up. Don't say it again and retract it. So I said Marcus Garvey was a scammer. I proved it. All right, he got deported. He's a piece of shit. That he got nothing done. He didn't know no president in Liberia. Everything about him was a fraud. He could never get black folks to Liberia because he never arranged anything with the president of Liberia. So he was a liar and a piece of shit that got deported. And I'm glad he suffered and died of strokes. Now, back to you. Yeah, he's a
okay.
piece of shit. Now, wait. Back to you. I'm recapping. You said Tariq Nasheed was a scammer. So we have a phrase: source up, retract it, and shut up.
All right.
You
So
so,
I'm
okay? Wait. Let me just land a plane. I'm doing a recap. So
land the plane.
okay, cool. But I got to do a recap first for the chat. It's coming in late, and the replay tomorrow afternoon. All right. So you said that he was a scammer, and you talked about Sir Major, a guy I don't know at all. Okay. Now, don't care. My cousin Ray is a scammer. What they got to do with me? I'm me. I'm not a scammer. Okay. So tell me, and I love Ray. You dig? I hang with Ray when I can to influence him better, but he chose the streets. That got nothing to do with me. Right? Okay. Now you admit you can't prove it, so you got to take it back. So I'm saying, so you're the person emotional about a character, not me, because I'm not going to lie on you or anybody else because I'm mad. Marcus Garvey is a piece of shit in every way possible. And
Okay.
this is why nobody from the Caribbean would debate with Marcus Garvey, and no Pan Africanist or no RBG or no African from the country would debate with Marcus Garvey because they know he's a piece of shit. Brother Reggie, who's probably the most intelligent person on Marcus Garvey, didn't even dare. He said, "Yo, you got it. I'm a knock my king over. I won't even dare debate with Marcus Garvey." He said, "You got it." Brother Reggie, who's Pan Africanist all the way, he said, "Bro, you got it," because they know that he's a piece of shit.
Ron,
All right, but go ahead. So I said enough. I like my plane.
yeah,
Your
sure.
turn.
It's very simple in this sense, and I'm gonna do also recap for the people in the chat. This whole conversation began because I just simply asked a question regarding the history of Marcus Garvey.
Right.
In all your points, you came across and said all those things you wanted to say about Marcus Garvey. Did I
I
once
have more.
did I once even remotely try to defend Marcus Garvey? No,
Yes.
no, I did
Yes.
not. I did not.
She did.
I didn't. And how, in what sense did I defend Marcus Garvey? I was just talking in regards to the history of Marcus Garvey, but not
He
on
has no
Marcus
history.
Garvey
His history
itself.
is shitty.
Okay, hold on. Did
He's been a
I
failure everywhere he
oppose?
went.
Did I again, Ron? Did I oppose? Did I defend Marcus Garvey? No, I didn't.
Yes.
The
Yes,
only
he did.
thing, no, you're lying, Ron. You can go
No,
back to this
you did
conversation.
because you
You
went
can go
back
back to this
and
conversation
you
and
went back and
not
rebutted with Tariq Nasheed. So you used
no,
Tariq Nasheed as a
no, no, you're
defense for
wrong,
Marcus Garvey.
Ron. Again, the only question I asked regarding Marcus Garvey is when he exited Jamaica on 1910, 23 years old, what was the first place he arrived to? You couldn't answer that.
I don't
He
care.
went
Like
into
it's
England.
okay.
But again, I just wanted to prove the point that you did not, your claim in regarding of knowing about Marcus Garvey
In the
is
United
flawed.
States, all right? I
Okay, hold
clarified.
on, hold
Okay, you
on.
got me. So I
Okay, in
clarified.
the United
In the
States, then you
United
clarify.
States.
But you
Okay,
see
thank
that in
you
the
for helping
beginning.
me correct myself.
Okay,
Thank you.
so all right.
I don't mind that.
Second,
I'm
second point.
secure.
Second point. So
Yes.
I did not defend Marcus Garvey. The whole
Nobody can.
intention
He's
of that
indefensible. He's
point.
a piece of shit scammer. That should have
Okay,
been hung, actually. They
hold
should
on.
have
It
hung
does.
his ass over
I
there.
don't care. I don't care. Go ahead, say it. The guy's dead. Who gives a damn?
Nah,
So
nah, nah.
again,
They should have hung his ass for the shit he did.
whatever. I'm okay with that. I don't give a damn about your freedom of speech in regards of a particular
That's
individual.
scammer, man. I wish like hell
So
his ending would have been
now,
hung.
look. Can you exit one moment for your bias in regards of Garvey?
Sure.
Okay. So you told me you like to play chess.
Yeah, I'm a chess
Correct?
teacher and I'm good at chess, right?
All right. I play chess myself. I'm
Okay.
pretty good at it, but you know what I prefer playing?
What's that?
Go. Wiki.
Golf.
Go. No, Go. Translated from Chinese is Wiki. The one that has the white and black
Yeah, I
dots.
bet.
It's all about territorial, etc.
Yeah, I
So
ain't betting chess.
look, chess is lineal in many ways. I like it, but I prefer Go. I like
What's your
more
chess
the
rating in chess? I'll tell you who's good at chess or not. What's your rating?
dude. I haven't played in a long while. The last rating I had was in the low 720s.
All right, so now, respectfully, I gotta say you were a beginner.
Yeah, I was a beginner. I'm not gonna tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
chess,
But
but
anyway,
I'm
go ahead.
much better on Go. So
Yeah,
I'm not gonna brag
I
on
would
something.
say only because you have not been taught correctly how to play chess. That's why.
Yeah, no. I
Yeah,
mean, I
most
like
people
playing
are,
chess in a very
but you were never taught correctly. Because, for example,
that doesn't matter. The point being here is
yeah, well, that does matter to be
how
taught
I apply
correctly.
strategy in matters of politics. I'll give you an example. I pushed for something here in my country, in Costa Rica, for 13 years. Something that everybody was telling me was impossible to achieve. And I achieved it because I knew how to strategize, etc. So, and the point being here is back to this conversation. The question of Marcus Garvey was just a point of historical reference that I wanted
Yeah,
to
that
place
was a bad one.
forward. Okay, so we did that. You went on your rant regarding Marcus Garvey. In one moment, I have
My
not
truth
even
rant.
defended him in any way, shape, form, or manner. I was just indicating that point of reference historically. Second, the point of contesting then is that I turned the table in regard to Tariq Nasheed. and I will stand by my words.
Yeah,
For
but you got to
me,
prove it.
for me, as an individual, I will say the same things A. Phillips, the other
Yeah, A. Philip Randall.
historical A.
Right,
Philip Randall said regarding Marcus Garvey. I'll say
right.
it to his face. I consider Tariq Nasheed to be a charlatan, a scammer, a liar,
But
a
you couldn't prove it though.
xenophobic,
So
etc.
that like he wouldn't even
Well,
care.
could Philip Randall prove before
Yes,
the whole thing?
yes. Okay,
All
so
right.
now,
If he doesn't like me saying that, he can come down to my
yeah.
country
uh,
and he can sue me in my
No,
courts
no, no. He's not gonna sue you because
because he's
see,
a coward.
no, no, no. FBA's we don't sweat that, right? We're used to look. White supremacists said the worst
Marcus
about
Garvey
him.
didn't sweat that when he
Oh
was
yes, he
told the same
did because
shit.
yes, he did because because he was going at W. Du Bois really hard, so he definitely sweated that. But he was afraid of FBA Philip
But
Randolph though.
anyhow, the point being here is
That
it
goddamn
doesn't
tether.
really. The point being here is that you jumped at his defense because
Well,
internally,
if you allow him, yes.
internally,
If you allow anybody, a matter of fact, look. Some people are not religious, right?
I'm not.
At
I'm
all.
an atheist, man. I give
Right,
a
right.
ten bleeding
Okay,
craps about
okay.
Abrahamic
Good, good.
religions bullshit.
Good, good, good. And I'm not saying you should, but and I wouldn't mind you expressing your beliefs about your anti-beliefs about it. I wouldn't even care. But if you were to lie and say Jesus was Moses' brother, I'm gonna be like, bro, where'd you read that?
Well, can we say that Jesus and Buddha and Shiva were sitting down and having a game of poker? And
Yeah, but if you seriously believe that, then I'm gonna say, brother,
dude,
listen,
I
you
don't
have a
believe in
history of
anything,
lying
man.
on people.
I don't
You,
believe in anything.
you
And
lied on
yes,
Tariq, so you might lie on Buddha
right
and
now,
Jesus.
in the
And
matters of your reaction in Marcus Garvey is my same reaction towards Billy Carson or Tariq Nasheed or many other charlatans
nah,
out there like
that's the
Lord
thing.
Jamar, etc. It's the same antibody that their supremacy, xenophobic stances originate in me in this whole conversation. How this individual, Tariq Nasheed, has become a voice for supremacy. And the worst of all, he's become a tool for white supremacy and gringo supremacy. That's my problem. And I understand it.
All
But
right.
that's why I like to go into the depth of the subject and what I brought to the table in regards of the reality of the Western Hemisphere, aka America, aka North, Central,
Yeah,
South,
but
and
that is not
Caribbean.
is yeah, but that's not what's in question. So the
No, it
whole
is in question. If you look at his page, he is arbitrarily defining who is an FBA in the Western Hemisphere. He's arbitrarily, without any,
he's talking about the United States.
yeah, because the only thing he can see, this dumbass, just
No,
like the
that's all.
gringo he
No,
is
that's all he should see for right now. So see the thing with you is you're too early. You're too early. You're
no, no,
talking
no.
about a bigger
We're
fish to fry, and
we've
right
been
now we're eating whitings.
we've been here since uh the 500-year history, especially the African descendants of slavery, alongside those in what is modern day United States. Not only that, but in the process of independence, like I said before, the majority of our countries abolished slavery. Heck, the situation of United States become when it became a country not abolishing slavery. Well, that's a shithole of the foundation of people who were there at that moment, and then we recognize the difference of that particular history and what that took. Of course, there's a direct relation between what was happening in 1850s and us here in Mexico and in
All
Central
right, so look,
America,
let me
particularly
just now.
with William Walker. So the point being here is that his arbitrary definitions
Okay, so let me just.
are a clear attempt of erasure of identity
All right,
in America, in
okay,
North, Central, South, and Caribbean.
okay,
He's
so
a
let's think
grifter
about
of
that.
that.
Okay, hold on. So let's think about that because most people, when they get on Tariq Nasheed, right, they get on him as though, and I'm not saying, you might be right, you might be wrong. Okay, what I'm saying is when people get on Tariq Nasheed, they act like he's the leader of somebody. When he says himself, he's not a leader. And then people like myself in the chat says he's not a leader. So if we all agree And matter of fact, he don't put himself in position. He's not a politician. He's not in leadership. He don't have an organization. He doesn't. He's not in leadership in no which way, shape, form. So in every aspect, he's literally not a leader.
You
Okay.
defended him like the leader.
No,
You
no, no.
just
No, 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 no.
showed
Hey, stop, 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 stop,
your
stop. Because
your whole
I'm still
reaction
going. I'm still
was
going. I'm still going. I'm still going. I'm
protecting
still
the
going.
leader.
No, no,
I'm
no.
sorry,
Well,
but that's
no,
how
no.
it seems.
No, no. Well, first of all, he's FBA. All right. So I'm gonna protect anybody FBA ADOS if they're being lied on.
As long as they're U.S. citizens and not from any other place in America.
Yes, 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 yes,
Okay, that's
yes.
good
Wait,
to
wait, wait,
know.
wait, wait, wait. Hold
So
on.
you're not with the idea and
Oh
the
my God.
push towards a a clear I will not use the term unification, but at least a commonality, understanding our commonality and working together to fix the bullshit that has been impacting us
Okay.
systematically, not only in the United States but throughout the whole
All right.
continent.
Okay. So let me answer that.
So that's my criticism in regards of
Wait.
Tariq.
So
His
let me.
bullshit
Okay. So that was
lineage
okay. Hold on. Hold on.
is supremacy.
All
He's
right.
working
Wait.
for the white man.
All
That's the
right.
point.
Listen. Okay. Well, the white man hates him. All right. So look. Let me because the
White men love him.
oh no
White
no
men love this
the
motherfucker.
white wait. I showed you the ADOS website. ADOS is asking for $20 trillion. The white man doesn't love that. Okay, no, if you get in that white man pockets, you become his enemy,
And us
right?
through our government, SELAC and the CARICOM, we're asking for 10 times that value to the
Okay,
Europeans.
yeah, right. I got it. And look, and it's probably worth it. But what I'm saying is that you okay, not you, but the Mexicans, right? Mexicans, they identify themselves as Mexicans, and don't the world identify them as Mexicans?
And you're identifying yourselves as quote
No,
unquote American and
wait.
defining American as just one country
Slow
in the whole
down,
continent.
slow down. I'm talking about Mexicans right now. Don't Mexicans identify themselves to the world as Mexicans, right?
Where are you trying to get with this?
That's
What's your point of the
that's
argument?
either a yes or a no. Do Mexicans accept the term Mexican?
Just like you identify
No, no.
yourselves as Americans,
I'm
they
speaking about.
identified
See
about
now, okay. So
Mexicans.
I see where it's going. Okay.
What is the point? What is your
So he
point?
comes off as humble, transparent, full of disclosure, but you see, he's really just insecure. Now, he thought coming on here prior that it was going to be a shouting match. I said, bro,
No,
I'm not.
it
Wait,
hasn't been. I'm glad it hasn't been.
right, because I kept trying to let you know, bro, I'm not who you think I am. Then you said, hey, man, I will be a worthy opponent. I was like, no, you won't. And I was dead ass. And right now, it's coming off that you're not. I'm asking you a yes or no. You ask me that yes or no questions, I answer yes or no.
A point of clarity.
I'm asking you a yes or no question, and you're intimidated because you think I have
No,
this
I'm not
grand.
intimidated. I want
Okay,
clarification because I do not
okay.
understand
So it's
the
just a
point of your
simple.
question.
It's okay. I got
Why
you.
are you asking that?
Okay,
What is the
I'm
reasoning
going to let you
behind
know.
that point?
I will let you know after the yes or no. Do Mexicans appreciate themselves being called Mexicans by the world? Yes or no?
Yeah, what's your
Okay,
point?
cool.
Like you
I
guys
got it. All
call
right, that's the
yourself
question. Okay,
Americans. What's your
cool.
point?
Yeah,
Land the plane.
just keep going back to us. Okay, but now aren't largely Mexicans? Aren't they largely Native Americans?
Out of the
Uh-oh.
110 million population of Mexicans, uh, 12 to 15% of them are of indigenous origin. Anywhere
So,
between
okay.
another 12% or 15% is a mixture or admixture between European indigenous
Okay, yeah.
with African descendants of slavery. What's your point? It's the same.
Okay,
You have the same issue in the United States.
wait.
What's your point?
I got
Why
it.
are you singling out Mexico?
Okay, slow down because it's called it's called an analogy. Yo, this guy,
I'm
he's
jumping.
yeah,
I'm
he's supposedly my equal, but this guy is insecure
bro.
as hell. What's your point? Where you
No.
going?
It's
Let
not
you play.
insecurity. Let me tell you.
Yo,
I'm
I'm so confident
anticipating.
when I talk to these guys, yo,
No.
because I
I'm
know none of them can
anticipating the
fuck with me.
move you're trying to
So,
make,
bro, you're
and
not
I'm
a chess
already
player. You just said
disarticulating
you're
it.
not a chess player. I am. So you're not, and you're 700. You're not my level
No,
on chess. Okay, so you're
I may
not
not be a
anticipating
chess
anything.
player as
Right.
you are, but
Exactly. So
I'm
you
a
can't
player in
anticipate my
many
move. You
ways.
can't even see it. All right. That's why you,
I've seen it. I've seen
no.
it.
So
What
why
you're
you
trying
asking
to
me that?
do.
If you see it, why you
Okay,
asking me?
please land your plane, please.
Okay.
What is your reference, your mark of reference to
Yeah,
single
this
out the
guy is
Mexicans to
insecure,
then
bro.
say, "Oh, we don't have a nationality"? Is that your final point? Is that what you're trying to
No,
tell me?
no. Okay, so the Mexicans, so just for the Mexicans that apply. So for those Mexicans that show 70%, 80%, 60%, but majority Native American and a small minority of Spain, right? Spaniard. Are they now okay? So remember, I'm saying a person, let's just say a person who shows to have 65% Native American in them and 35% Spaniard, or let's say 30% Spaniard and 1% other stuff. 1% African, 1% this, 1% that. But mainly 30% Spaniard and 65% uh, Native American. That person, will that person be, is that person a Native American? Is that person Spaniard or they just Mexican?
Do you understand how ethnicity works?
Yeah, like this is a calculus question, bro. I'm
No,
just
no, no.
asking you.
It is a stupid question
Oh my
because
God.
I,
Yeah, he's
I'm
not my
gonna
level.
simply
He's
put it
not
this
on my
way.
level. Yeah. Y'all gotta
No,
do a
no,
better
no, no, no.
job sending
Hold
folks
on,
over
hold
here.
on, hold on. It is a stupid question
He's
because
not,
you
he's
have
not on my
you.
level. Okay, so
Okay,
answer the stupid
I'm way
question,
ahead of your level because
bro.
a
Where'd you go with this? Let you playing. Y'all just
no, no,
answer the
you've been
question.
playing all this time. You did not
Okay.
land your plane. Your question
Look,
lacks of any
you
sense
not fucking with me at
of
all
north
on no
or
level, bro.
any sense of
I'm over here
anthropological,
laughing at you, literally.
archaeological, or even ethnicity understanding. So let me put you in this example.
Okay.
Okay, one, a person identifies themselves first and foremost with what their parents is able to provide them as a guidance of that identity. Usually, that is attached to a nationality from either aka US, United States, Mexico, Canada, whatever. All right.
Right.
And second aspect, the parents will give that person the cultural tools of the origin they are from, usually or normally. Yes, there are other ways of that happening in that sense. So to understand the cultural social that then can derive into political identities as such, you your whole explanation was nonsensical because
Oh shit.
a person identified themselves by that lineage to which they are born to and which
So
those parents provide the tools in order to do
okay.
so.
So
But then
so
as that person grows, that identity is also fed by the social norms
so are
that
you
is
telling me?
around that person.
So are you
So
telling
what is
me?
the point of you
Okay,
singling
cool.
out the Mexicans?
Okay, cool. Wait,
Nonsensical.
just relax. So are you
I'm
telling me?
relaxed.
So are you telling
I'm
me?
passionate, but I'm relaxed,
Okay,
my
so are
friend.
you telling me a Native American no, a person, I'm sorry, a person who is 65% Native American and 30% Spaniard, you're telling me that person can be classified as Native American still?
Native Americans, of the people who were here prior to the arrival of Europeans,
Yeah.
all the populations that were from Argentina up to Canada, plus the Caribbean. That ranges from Chibcha cultures to Nahuatl cultures
Yeah, but I was
to
thinking about one individual. Can that individual claim Native American status? The person who has 35% Spaniard in them and or 30% with 60%,
look.
65%. That's just a simple question. Based on your opinion.
You're
I'm
trying to
trying
apply.
to apply, bro.
Hold on.
You
Let me
gotta be
break your argument in
secure.
this way.
I don't have an argument. I'm just
You have.
asking a simple
You're trying.
question.
Okay.
But
No,
you think I'm so smart that I always got
okay.
a
Hold on.
gotcha somewhere.
So riddle me this. Why do we have to be categorized by the one drop rule or
All right.
the
All right. So let me skip past
that's
that.
only applicable for U.S.
Okay. So you don't want to
Residents
answer.
and
Okay.
U.S. citizens.
All right.
For
So let
the
me
rest
ask.
of us, we don't give a shit. The
Okay.
important thing
Cool.
is
No
that that
problem.
person, if that person is going to identify with
Well,
a native
not according to Native
population
American
in each of
tribe.
the countries,
Now
that they at least
that person
involve
won't join.
themselves with
That
that
person won't
culture.
be. That
That is
person won't
far
be.
more important than the bullshit
That person.
categorizations of your country
That
that are
person.
as stupid as maintaining the imperial metric system, my
Okay.
friend.
So that person, no matter how they feel about themselves, will not be welcome to a Native American tribe. Right? They're gonna ask that fool to do a DNA test, and once they see that 30% Spaniard in there,
That only works in the United
goodbye.
States.
Okay. All right.
That
All right.
only works in the United
Well,
States.
that's all
You're
that matters
applying
right now.
rules that only apply within your country
That's all
that
that.
are
Yeah, because we the only
outdated
country
and
that does DNA
absurd
tests. Y'all
to
don't.
the, no, no,
That's
no, hold on,
that's why you
hold
got
on.
that huge jacket problem in your
Let me
country.
let me let me break away your argument. You are applying principles that only are
I didn't even
applicable
have an
within the
argument. I'm just
community
trying
of
to
the
get a
United
sincere
States
answer from
to
you.
Mexico, which in it categorizes groups through other means. So this is the problem of U.S. defaultism. You think that we all work like your country and the shitty ways you do categorization for people.
Well, we can only speak from the context of my country. I don't know shit about somewhere else.
That's the
All right.
thing, my friend. I know the context of your country as well as the context of
I don't
my
think you
countries.
do.
Let me pause this 1 second to bring you this. Okay, so we got a troll out here, and let me just address her.
So,
Looking for attention.
I'm back. Sorry about that. So let's go down to the foundational Black American flag, popularized online by controversial media personalities. Tariq Nasheed, foundational Black Americans are descendant of Black slaves who built the United States from the bottom. The movement is considered divisive for its anti-Pan-African segments. Transatlantic, the Caribbeans by a maroon flag with or Africans used to fight in Louisiana. So wait a minute. It's funny that
notice how
the FBI
people use him as a scapegoat instead of addressing the agenda, the ideology, the concept. They like to attack an individual. But if we attack an individual that represents their cult, they'll get mad. Okay, but it doesn't bother us because we don't have a leader. Okay, definitely not of a lineage.
hey, got a flag, right? For the Maroons. But y'all talk so bad about the Caribbeans.
Either slow or delusional. She said we talk bad about Caribbeans. We don't even mention them. They're not in our mentions. But we're going to defend ourselves, though, from slander. So I was trying, when I first spoke to her, I was trying to explain that to her, but her ADHD did not allow her to relax. It looked like she took some medicine the last couple lives. But when she was live with me, she was either off her meds or on her meds because she was uncontrollable. But people be intimidated to speak to me. So I get it. Okay, their guard be up, like I'm setting them up like the guy from yesterday. When I'm just trying to have a sincere conversation, they think I'm always setting traps. It's like, whatever, man. Like, y'all gotta be some secure talking to me like I am talking to you guys. I don't care about your traps. Okay, but anyway, so they attacked the individual, and she said, we attack Caribbeans. So now it's a one-way street, which I tried to point out to her last time. She is willingly ignorant. Okay, she wants to believe that, just like Brother Reggie tried to act like it was freedom of speech when it came to tethers. But when it came to us exercising freedom of speech, it's called attacking. And I called him on that, and Brother Reggie tried to do He tried to explain it away. He tried to do the RBG explain.
And the Maroons went over there to what we know today as Jamaica, right? When they escaped slavery from the South. But you got the flag. And y'all talk so bad about the Caribbean people.
You hear this nut job we talk so bad about. What we actually do is talk about the facts about them after. So it's the saying, don't tell a lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you. So they've been telling lies about us. So then they put themselves on our radars. So we're like, wait a minute. What you say about us? That's a complete lie. Okay, but your lie is not offensive. But is the truth offensive? So we began telling the truth about them. So this is why on my panel, she couldn't even behave herself because the truths were hurting her.
I mean, I
she
just
has
find
yet
it
to show she can have a civil discourse.
very interesting. I find it mighty strange. If you don't see that as a red flag, I don't know.
Yeah, not a red flag.
Because that's a big red flag to me.
Yeah, I bet you see red flags.
I mean, just think about it. Just think about it. It's very interesting. And here it is, the foundational Black American flag, and you foundational Black American people always be the main ones saying something. The second flag possesses the American color scheme and nod to the Grace Washer, or say Grace Wisher.
So then she had Ngozi the other day, and instead of saying foundational Black Americans, Ngozi said foundational African Americans, and she was just a yes woman, straight, just quiet. Why didn't you say, hey, I disagree with that as well? Because isn't that your stance, Tiffany? Don't you disagree with us delineating, disaggregating, sectioning off an identity just for ourselves exclusively? Aren't you against that? So why do you express to Ngozi, no, Ngozi, why you gotta be foundational Black American or foundational African American or ADOS? Why you just can't be RBG or Pan-Africanist? Why you ain't do that?
Free African American woman who was indentured as a child to the famous Star Spangled Banner flag seamstress, Mary Pickergill. The 3 white stars represent the 3 ethnic groups that make up foundational Black American. The Black Aboriginal people of North America, Black explorers and traders who explored the Americas before Columbus. Whoa, hold on.
Peace, FBA Marv, Devin. But Sensei, let's have an honest conversation. You guys say it's FBA, but he doesn't even say FBA. So I want to know, what information do you got about Lord Jamar that he doesn't have about himself? You guys are good. So I would like to hear your evidence how he's FBA, because it's going to be evidence that Lord Jamar doesn't have for himself.
Black explorers and traders who explored the Americas before Columbus. And the captives brought to the Western Hemisphere from Africa. Oh, but I thought that y'all wasn't African though. Wait, whoa.
Is this? Yeah, I'm telling you, this girl has a comprehension problem. I know she does. And that Ritalin, she needs to, give it that Ritalin so she could relax and focus on something. She thought we were not African. We're not African. This was, again, was trying to explain to this woman, but she can't get it. She either can't get it or hasn't gotten it. That's her problem. But she sounds crazy out here, because now we get to review her foolishness and put it back in her face. Nobody's African, Tiffany. Nobody. Okay. Do our genes go back to the continent of Africa? Yes. But nobody in this world is actually African. Everybody's part of a region, and they're named by that region or that landmass. Nobody's African. Okay? So let's rewind it back.
Whoa, hold on. The Black Aboriginal people of North America, Black explorers and traders who explored the Americas before Columbus. Whoa, hold on. Black explorers and traders who explored the Americas before Columbus. I thought y'all ain't believing in the transatlantic slave trade. So which one is it? So how?
Okay, you see, so you could tell that she's so weird that she's normally arguing with people who call themselves, or people who are called abels, people who are called abels by other people. You could tell her argument is with people who are called abels. I don't know if they call themselves that, but I know people call them that. But Aborigines or Aboriginals, whatever. So you could tell that she's usually arguing with them. Because even when she came on my podcast, she said, I thought you don't believe in DNA. So like she's so weird that she can't even like listen to my argument to kind of like determine like where I'm at. She already gave me a position. So she's thinking I'm somebody who claims to be an Aborigine or an Abo, and that I was always here, and the transatlantic slave trade never happened. That's the position she was trying to give me, and that I'm against science and DNA. But that's how weird she is. Like she don't even have the brain cells to sit there and listen. Let me see what this guy's about before I give him a position that's not what he represents.
This flag has something that represent the captives that was brought from brought to the Western Hemisphere from Africa. If y'all don't believe that the transatlantic slave trade did not take place. Please help me to understand. Make it make sense, y'all.
Not with you, we can't.
It says the center is the Black Power fist from the 1960s. The red and blue olive branches are the Black tribe or something. Don't even try, because you're going to confuse the hell out of me. So significant slave rebellions, one of which is commonly hidden, represent the Maroons. The African people presents the Maroons. Please make it make sense.
Can't.
I just got a feeling that it's going to be some pseudo shit. It's going to be some pseudo information that y'all try to put out there. Some shit that y'all made up. Because there is no way. And what language did these Black Aboriginal people speak? What language did these Black Aboriginal? What's the name of the? I don't even know why the question even came to mind. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you ask a lot of weird questions.
Leave that shit alone.
So now she's a Pan-Africanist, and when I attempt to get her to explain Pan-Africanism, she couldn't even do that. So you can't even explain something that you claim to be, something that represents you. So I don't expect you to understand anything concerning free people, ADOS, or FBA.
So, child.
So now let me the African thing. We're not ethnically African, okay? So you need to know what ethnicity is, all right? That's sharing same history and culture, okay? We don't share the same history with anybody from that continent, and we damn sure don't share the same culture. We don't speak the same language. We really don't share anything with them. This is why they recognize us as something different than themselves collectively, and we see ourselves something different than themselves collectively. Matter of fact, we see ourselves different from everybody Black, and that's why we decided to self-identify with FBA, ADOS, American Free People.
So many flags that we have. It's so many.
Weird.
I believe, and that we can find out more information about this. Right, and it was used by the neo-Nazi people.
Yeah, so she's not well studied enough to really have these conversations, but nobody's going to tell her that. People in her circle is gassing her up, or a big disappointment on somebody's live. And she better get a reality pill, a red pill, before she find herself on another TV or somewhere where people are going to make clips about her, not knowing what she's talking about. Okay, she did a couple videos on Black History, but man, you got to remember that stuff. You can't just read it on a piece of paper. That means, to me, that comes off as you learned it on the fly. Okay, what we do, people like myself, we are passionate about this. We read it and it sticks to our brain, and we could be anywhere and we can recall it pretty much event by event. Okay, that's when you really do this. But reading something off your screen, nah. Anyway, let me get back to what I was doing. I just want to address it real fast before I continue. So let me go back to my debate with that racist Latino guy.
So what I'm doing, what I'm
You
telling
don't even know what hired out is. What are you talking about? Okay.
No, again, the problem
I
is
don't think you're that
you
fluent
have
in
no.
American history.
The problem with your attempt of argument is that you're trying to cherry pick.
Cherry pick. I'm just trying to make a point because I was going to reference that back to why we say FBAs. All right, because what we are similar to like Mexican people in a sense where we're an amalgamation of different things. We're not one thing. So we got
So are
30% this.
Mexicans, so are all Central Americans.
Right.
Welcome to the consequences of colonialism, and welcome to the last 200, 250 years of independence.
This is
What's
why.
the point?
Got it. Here's the point. Listen and take your pen out and write it down. Screenshot it. This is why it's necessary for terms like FBA, ADOS, and free people, because we, like Mexicans, went through a change where we're blended amongst people. So we're not one thing. We're not Native American. We're not Spaniard, because we are a combination of different things, which makes us totally different than Spaniards and Native Americans. So as a result, we're called Mexicans because we're different from Spaniards and we're different from Native Americans and wherever else is mixed in that. So FBA is the same thing. We're not like Africans, because Africans don't have a large percent of European in them. Africans, if they do a DNA test, they're probably going to be 97% African, 98, 99% African. Okay, all of them. All right, that's why they're so damn black and dark. We over here in America, we're going to have a small percentage. So basically, if a Nigerian does a DNA test, his DNA test probably is going to show 98% of Nigeria, right? Specifically by name, Nigeria, 98%. With us, we're going to have 10% Nigeria, 15% Nigerian, 5% of this other shithole country, and 3% of this other shithole country. But we're not going to have a large 40, 50, 60% of none of those shithole countries in our DNA. It's going to be small percentages. We might even have more Irish, more German, more Dutch in us than we have an African country over here. Okay, and
So
that's
you
just a
should be
fact.
considered European.
Why?
Is that what you're trying to argue me?
Okay, so
That
now
you're more
wait.
proud of
Okay,
European
so
lineage than anything else?
no, we're proud of all of it, and that's what makes us American. That's what makes us FBA, ADOS, free people, because we're proud of all of it. All
But
of
what
it
is
makes us who we are.
Okay, what is the name of the country you were born in?
America, the
No,
United States of America.
United States of America.
Yes, the
Okay.
best country in human history, known human history.
Look, I don't give 10 bleeding shits about your
I do
fantasy
shit.
about supremacy and
This is
and
everybody want to come over here though.
exceptionalism, etc.
Everybody
Welcome
want
to
to come
the
over
real
here.
world. Welcome to the real
Ain't
world
nobody going
where
to
we don't
China
give
like
a
that.
fleeting
Ain't
fuck
nobody going to
about
Russia. Ain't nobody
your
going to Latin
supremacy.
America. Okay,
You
nobody going to
fuck
Mexico.
you.
Everybody
Your
trying to get over
country,
here.
okay. Your country in the last
Mhm.
74 years have fucked around so much in our countries that one of the major pillars of irregular migration, aka what you call illegal migration, has to do with the United States foreign policy, aggravating the conditions of political instability that have
I don't agree
happened
with that.
in the different countries. So it's your country's fault in a
Well,
great
you always
sense.
make claims you can't prove them, so I
Oh, I
can't
cannot
trust
prove
you.
it. Oh, I can prove that any day of
Okay,
the
you
week.
can prove this one, but you can't prove Tariq Nasheed a scammer, right? So
Oh,
your word
look,
is not that good, right
I
here.
knew it was gonna piss you off.
It didn't piss me off. I'm actually having fun, bro.
No,
I'm
I'm
not mad
having
at all.
fun too. I'm having fun too. I'm passionate.
Okay,
I'm
so
passionate.
why?
So,
Okay,
but
so
I'm having fun.
why am
But
I
the thing
pissed
is,
off?
my
I'm
friend,
over here
you
laughing
jumped to
and
protect
giggling.
your leader. You
Why?
jumped to protect your leader,
Like,
my
I'm
friend.
laughing now. I don't have a leader, sir. And
You
see, but
jumped at the opportunity to
see,
defend your
but
leader. That's how
okay,
it was perceived. That's
no,
how your action was
okay,
perceived,
no.
my
You're
friend.
actually
And there
mad.
was a reason.
No. Okay, the reason why
I
you're mad
stood by my
is that
words.
we are on
I
code.
stood by my words
See,
in
a
regards of
lot
not
of
being
non-FBAs
appropriate
are
sheep.
mad that FBAs are on code. You're
Look,
mad that I
no,
defend FBAs. And guess what?
no. See,
Guess
that's a
what?
problem. You're not
That's
defending
my New Year's
everything.
resolution
You're defending
is to
a
defend
supremacy
FBA's
notion.
A-Dogs, man. Guess what? Whatever you
Okay.
call him, he's all good with me. You dig?
No,
Because
no.
he's FBA.
Look, you proved on
And
this
even Sir
channel that it
Major,
isn't.
if Sir Major got
That
locked up, I don't give a damn. He's
whatever
good with me.
whatever I called
I'm on code
Tariq
100%.
did affect you emotionally, and you had an emotional
Nah.
response towards that.
I've been laughing the
You
whole time,
defended
bro.
him. You defended him.
People know when I'm emotional. 'Cause I cuss, I get irate, I get crazy.
Okay, so
I did none of the above
can you
tonight.
see in
I'm
an
having fun
objective
with you, bro.
sense that your
'Cause you're not on my
response
level at all.
after the conversation of Garvey, your response of my personal position in regards of Tariq Nasheed, you jumped
You
at the
lied.
opportunity. You jumped at the
No,
opportunity.
okay, so
You
you don't know
jumped
who
at
I
the
am, do
opportunity
you?
to defend your leader, someone you
No,
consider personally
no.
your leader.
He's in my
That's
leader.
how it's perceived, my friend.
Okay.
You are defending the leader
So
because
what makes him say here's a real question for you. What makes him my leader?
as simple as this. You guys are following his every
Yeah,
word
y'all
and
just
command.
no, I don't because
You guys are
he's against
following
vaccines and I'm no.
his guidelines.
He's against vaccines. I'm pro vaccine. Okay, so no, brother, the wrong guy. So you got the wrong guy. I was
Okay,
vaccinated
so
all
if
the
I
way.
have the
My son
wrong
is.
guy, why did you
You got
jump
the
at that
wrong
option? You could have just
guy.
said, all right, this guy thinks Tariq is
No,
a
I
fraud,
cannot
and
allow
this
you
guy
to
is thing.
lie. You
Okay,
get that?
hold on.
You can't lie.
Is Tariq gonna listen to this? Are you afraid that he's gonna sue you? Because you allowed somebody like me to say my opinion about Tariq Nasheed is
No,
he's a
but your opinion
fraud,
is your
he's a
opinion.
charlatan, he's a loudmouth bullshitter, he is
Say scammer.
is a scammer,
Are you
etc.
lying?
So, hey, that's the position I put forward.
But
Just like you said in
can't
regards to
prove it
Marcus
though.
Garvey, who I did not defend, I did not care. For
No,
me,
because you
your
can't, because
positions
he
in regards
actually
to
is a liar
Marcus
and a
Garvey
imposter.
slided through. I did
Yo,
not
he's
defend him. I
mad
did
at
not
me.
jump in
Hey, chat, he's
that
mad at me
sense.
because I won't allow him to lie. That is, you can't make him.
No.
He's
See,
mad that he cannot be a liar tonight.
see, this is the thing. You jumped at defending that man.
Dude, is he a
Because
scammer or
you
not?
have
Yes or
an
no?
emotional response towards him, and
Is
you
he a
do.
scammer? Yes or no?
I consider him one.
But
I
is he?
have all the right as freedom of speech to
No,
consider a person
but
a
dude have these
scammer.
facts to back it up. Yes or no?
Sure, I need facts, and
Right, but
eventually I will get more facts in regards of him. But it's not my
Yo,
entire
who the hell draws the
responsibility.
conclusion and look for facts later? Dude, that's horrible research. You're supposed to let the facts lead you to your conclusion. You don't
No,
conclude and look for facts. That is
bro,
called
because I'm more
pseudoscience.
interested in
Nah, I don't do that over
attending
here.
the bullshit he lies about
Like what?
and correcting the.
Like what?
Okay,
He lied
his
about.
arbitrary decisions in regards of what is and isn't an FBA.
Dude,
He's
that's his
wrong
opinion.
there.
Like you, no. You said
Two,
freedom of
his
speech.
supremacy, his defense of U.S.
Wait.
supremacy
So,
and
so
imperialism, working alongside supremacy and imperialist
okay, now prove
perspectives
that.
against
Prove that.
the other people. Third,
Prove that. No, prove that. Prove he's working along with white supremacy to further the agenda. Go ahead.
just go to his FBA page.
No, I'm asking
The
you.
fact of his
I'm not doing your
arbitrary
dirty work.
definition
You
of what
prove.
FBA is, his clear attempts at erasure
Oh.
of identity of others here in the Western Hemisphere. You don't want to accept that because then it breaks
What
your
did
whole
he?
argument, my
Bro,
friend.
you're saying stuff and you're not. Now, hey, now Ramon or Raymond, I blame you because you said Unbiased. Take him serious. He's no joke. You're a liar because he is a joke. Because I'm asking him to prove his talking points and he can't prove one. Hey, bro, can you just prove to us right now how he aligned himself with white supremacy, his ideology? Go ahead.
Okay, so if we look at the definitions he's provided in his page in regards of FBA,
Right.
it
Good.
clearly shows that the arbitrary decision of what is an FBA as a U.S. supremacy control only, and I'm going to say
He
this:
didn't say that.
his ways of attending the reality clearly shows his xenophobic stances and his like you just mentioned right now. We're the best country in the world. Nobody's in
We
competition.
are. What country is close?
No, you are not. You're just a country like the rest of us,
Okay,
trying to survive the
what country
realities of
science?
freedom, man.
Okay, so what country science can compete with ours?
Oh, for
Go.
crying out loud. We are not competing. The world is not competing.
No, science rules.
You
Wait,
gringos
science.
are the only ones trying to compete with
Hey, no,
everybody
bro,
else
you
because
have
you have
every country
a
competes.
superiority
This buddy,
complex.
every
With
country
340
competes. This buddy
million
all do
gringos.
trade. They all got militaries. They all got their scientists, their statisticians.
No, see,
Every country
you're not
competes. What
understanding
earth
the
are you
point.
on?
You're not even understanding the fucking point. You are so in deep with the supremacy and imperialism of your own fucking country that
No.
you're not even having the capability
This
of
country
abstracting
is
yourself.
clearly the best country in known history. This not Egypt can't hide the shoe
Look,
of
that's a
America.
problem of your again. That's a problem of people like you or
Why does
Tariq who
everybody
just
want to
want to
come
believe the
here?
bullshit.
So why does everybody want to come here? We're not going to
Here it
Japan,
is.
China, Costa
Oh no,
Rica,
you ain't.
Mexico. We're
You
not
ain't.
going to
Are
those
you
countries.
sure about that?
Hell no, we ain't going over there. I don't even got a
What is the
passport.
annual immigration of U.S. citizens outside of the United States annually?
Small. That shit's small
Small.
compared.
What is small?
It's
What
like
is small?
it's like 400 million of us. It's small. Like maybe I don't know,
It's
100,000. It's small.
340 million. You're adding 60 million more than I
Yeah,
got there.
bro. I'm just guessing, bro. I don't.
Annually, U.S. citizens migrate anywhere between 2.2 to 2.5 million
That's a small
that
percentage of a 300 million, bro.
United States.
Okay, now watch this.
Huh?
There's how many Puerto Ricans? More Puerto Ricans are in America than over in
Whoa,
Puerto Rico.
you have colonized Puerto Rico.
More shitty Jamaicans are in America than their own country.
No.
So
Let
now
me tell you
that's a
about
big
this.
difference. And
The
Nigerians
shitty
are trying their
gringos,
best to get over there.
for example, like shitty dictator wannabe that you elected into presidency alongside shitty individuals like Maduro or Chavez or Castro or Pinochet or Daniel Ortega. Probably you don't know who the fuck I'm talking about because evidently you do not have that broader sense of understanding the realities that are happening. But here's the thing. That shitty dictator, orange man, wannabe, loudmouth,
I
ignorant
love Trump.
asshole. Yeah, I can tell that you love a dictator wannabe. I've been
I
fighting
love
against
Trump.
dictators all my life. I can know when a person is incapable of abstracting themselves from their bias and
Now.
realizing in that sense.
I might hate him in the future, but I love him right now.
So here's the thing. Like I said,
okay, now, sir, you got to be careful because right now,
freedom of speech, man.
no, I got it.
That's the essence of it. I'm in my own country. My constitution provides me freedom of speech, as your constitution provides freedom of speech. In that sense,
wait a minute. Let me just say this to you. What I'm saying is this. So I'm saying be careful because Latin America is not on my radar at all. I'm attacking Africa, 54 countries, and I'm attacking the 33 shitholes in the Caribbean. Latin America is not on my radar at all. I have no videos of Latin America,
you
right?
talked about Mexico.
No,
Mexico's one country in Latin America,
I
so
did
it
not
is in
speak.
your radar.
No,
What
I did
happens
not.
is,
No. Listen, what I'm saying. I didn't speak ill.
um,
I didn't speak ill of Mexico. I'm saying I be telling the truth. I be exposing these Caribbean and these African countries, right?
well, you
And shitholes. Hold on, let me just finish. So what you're gonna do? Keep it up. You're gonna redirect my attention to Latin America, and I'm gonna start looking
and
into
you're
those
gonna get
countries.
your ass whooped in every sense of the word because
All
we
right,
have people here that
all right.
have more depth in history,
So
that
we're
understand
all
the
right.
elements of history,
All right. So
that
let me
are
look up.
able to
All right.
abstract ourselves from shitty positions.
So, Chad, you see that right? Latin America. I was giving Latin America a pass. I never. I don't have one video
You mess with,
of any
look, look.
Latin country. But now I'm gonna focus on Costa Rica. Wait, let me look that shit up right now.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
And
See, see.
if you do,
Okay. So now
I will
going further.
decipher every single
My
point that you
videos will
make.
be okay. So now I'm raging war on Latin America because of you.
Go ahead,
You're
gringo.
running.
Try it.
You're running your
Try it.
goddamn
And what
mouth.
you're gonna have
Why
is
is
what happened to William Walker when he tried to
Costa?
wage war against us within 40 years after our independence. You're gonna get your ass burnt, and you're
Nah,
probably gonna end up like William Walker. Dude,
nah.
sincerely in that sense, your
Okay.
your fraud of a leader, your scammer of a leader,
All
your
right.
charlatan of a leader,
All right.
you are
So yeah.
defending him
So
because you have a
Latin
emotional
America,
response
you
on
are
that.
now on notice. Okay. So I'm gonna lump you
Dude,
guys up
dude,
with the other
it's
shitty
evident
countries.
that on this conversation you were unprepared, you were incapable of even
Why doesn't Costa Rica have a military?
because we were wise and we abolished it 74
Oh
years
my
ago
God.
because
These
we
guys can't
realized
even defend
military
themselves.
is a terrorist organization against
Oh,
democracy.
dude, y'all don't have a military?
Yeah, we don't. And
That's a
that's a
bunch of
wise
cowards,
movement.
man. Nah,
Why the
that's a
fuck the
bunch of
country
cowards.
spends $820 billion on a
To
military that
kick
has
ass
failed?
like your countries. Kick
Okay,
ass
sure,
and take your resources.
kick ass, sure.
That's why.
Tell me one thing. After the Second World War, from Korea onwards, and that's Korea, Vietnam, Angola, Iraq, Afghanistan, so on. Why hasn't your military have had any successful
We did. We
military
hung
campaign
Saddam Hussein. We killed that nigga
from start to beginning?
Bin
You
Laden.
lost Vietnam, you fucked up Korea, you fucked up Afghanistan, you
Well,
fucked up Iraq, you fucked up the drug war.
yeah, that's
So
all good.
all good. So that's what a failure,
That's winning. That's
a
not failing.
failed.
That's winning.
No, you failed systematically. You
No, we
spent
kicked their
4.1
asses.
trillion dollars in 20 years in Afghanistan. Money that, well, it's not in your people's hands. You've spent 2.1 to $3 trillion in the war drugs in the
And
last 60
and
years.
and and
So if you're gonna
guess who's gonna foot
bullshit
that bill?
yourself about the
And guess who's gonna
exceptionality
foot that
of
bill?
your
Costa
country,
Rica gonna foot that bill. We're gonna take our ass over there and take your money, and you're gonna foot the bill we did over there in Iraq and everywhere else. Tell them that. Costa
uh,
Rica, y'all gonna foot that bill.
you can try it, but
Y'all
you'll
don't
end
have
up
a
like William
military.
Walker.
We can
You'll
just
end
come over and
up
just take it,
almost burned to death and buried in an unmarked grave. You try
bro.
to advance into
You
that
don't have a
sense,
military.
dude. We'll become your Vietnam.
That's a lie.
Yeah,
That's a lie.
we'll become your Vietnam.
Those
Just
little
like the
ass guys
Viet Cong kicked
got
the ass
over.
of your military
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
had to
because they were
run
hiding in
away.
fucking tunnels. They're
Just
like
like
2 feet tall.
Afghanistan, after 20 years, you
Okay.
had to run away. So listen, the problem, Ron, is that you're not unbiased. You're completely biased.
Now you are
And
biased and you're a liar.
and it's evidently that your knowledge in chess is not functioning because I was able
Shit.
to get your emotional responses
No, you did
according
not.
to the
I'm
way I
again.
wanted. And
Look,
it
my
clearly has
chat knows
shown in
when
that
I'm
sense.
angry, I start cussing, I start cutting off. Dude, I've been nothing but kind. I'm laughing. I'm
Same
the
here.
opposite. You've been irate because you were. Hey,
No.
I asked you a question.
Hey,
Wait,
hey,
what?
passionate.
Where you get to?
Do not
Where you get
confuse.
to?
Do not confuse Latin American passionate. Because yes, I speak
Dude,
English
you're
in
more than
very
passionate.
similar ways than I speak Spanish. So unfortunately, because I speak Spanish, I speak Portuguese, etc., I have clear cultural marks that seed into my speaking English, which means I know how to elevate my voice. I know how to modulate. I know how to do those things, but most of it comes from that cultural lineage that I have of Latin America, where we speak very concise and very to the point as much as we can. But not only that, you have to take into consideration that, dude, I'm translating a whole bunch of information I have in different languages to one fucking language, and you are only able to speak one goddamn fucking language and
Hell
still
no.
not
Only
make sense, my
America.
friend.
Yeah, I'm not speaking none of the barbaric languages. I only want to speak American.
Yeah, you speak the language of your
American.
overlords, the English from England. English.
No, I actually know. We don't say good day, Mike, and all that bullshit.
Still,
Hey,
English,
you want some
as
cheese?
Spanish, as Portuguese, as French, etc., came from Europe. If you have a native
I speak
language,
slang, yo.
what is your native language?
Yeah, slang.
No, you're speaking the language of your colonizers.
Nah, we remixed it though. They don't speak slang.
Sure,
They
we
try to learn what the hell
remixed
we
the
talking
Spanish
about.
too. Your point is absurd.
All right then. So aren't you speaking? Yeah, and that's why they don't consider your Spanish legitimate Spanish. So when you learn Spanish like I did about a book, they teach Spaniard Spanish. They teach um vosotros. Vosotros. You don't say vosotros, right? You don't say vosotros, but they say vosotros because that's what they teach. They teach
There are
Spaniard
33
Spanish.
different in Latin America. There's 33 different ways in
Bro,
Spanish
do you
that
say
range
vosotros?
from
Yes or no?
vos to tú, to ustedes.
Brother, do you say
Different
vosotros?
utilization.
Yes or no?
Just like in the United States, you
Exactly.
have
My
15
man don't
different
answer
states
no question.
of different ways. Dude, your questions are stupid because
I know.
I just answered it and you did not listen. I
Okay.
said,
Do you say vosotros? Yes or no?
on occasions, yes, vosotros.
Okay, then you want to be
Vosotros.
Spaniard. All right, I get
No,
it.
no.
Yeah,
Let me tell you in this
that's not
way.
Latin. That's not Latin, bro.
Oh my
That's
God.
Spaniard Spanish.
Here we go. Okay, listen.
Yeah, ain't no damn
Look how
Dominican I ever
stupid
come
the
across. No, I'm
question
from New
is.
Jersey. Okay, I'm from New Jersey
Yeah.
where all
Do
the
you have any
Hispanics are at.
background in
All right,
linguistics?
ain't none of them, no Panamanian, no Dominican, no Puerto Rican. They say vosotros. You're lying, bro. Stop, bro. I got Puerto Rican friends and Spanish friends in Ecuador. Nobody say vosotros. But you might say it because you want to be Spaniard. You want to be. Yeah.
Because you have different countries that use el tú or they use el vos.
Nobody say, bro. So Latin
Oh,
Americans
now
say
you
el
know
vos.
every single of the 33 nations that speak
I'm
Spanish
talking about
here
the
in Latin
ones
America,
that
and you know
dude,
which ones use tú
dude.
versus
Yes.
vos. Wow.
Whoever
Okay,
say
so
vos
tell me
is a Spaniard
which are the
wannabe.
five major countries that make a combination between tú y vos.
Okay, so if you
O
say
sea,
vos,
y ya que veo que sabes mucho de español, ¿me podrías entonces indicar qué es la conjugación de voz? ¿Qué es voz? ¿Qué se define como voz?
okay, vos.
¿Ah?
Real
Si eres
Hispanic.
tan experto en español, me deberías dar una clase gramatical y lingüística en torno a la palabra voz.
This guy think I don't speak no Spanish, right? This guy think he actually
No, I changed to Spanish
Okay.
because I assumed that if you were speaking in regards to Spanish, you would speak. But here, what did I say in Spanish?
Okay, so first of all, you claimed I'm in class, all right, and you claim you're teaching, but you're not.
No, bro.
Okay.
Give me a little translation of what I just said in Spanish.
I just did. Like you claim.
No. Okay. So what I said to you in Spanish, I said, "Oh, since you are highly educated in Spanish,
Now I'm highly educated in Spanish. I know poquito.
You were trying to tell me,
but I know vosotros. I know vosotros. Though I know that shit ain't taught in fucking Latin America.
You're trying to battle a losing battle with somebody who has a linguistic backgrounds in academics, not only in Spanish but in French, Portuguese, and English. So again, in this sense,
Panamanian, you're not in touch.
The problem is.
Do Mexicans say vosotros? Yes or no?
Some, and in other areas say tú.
Stop.
Dude, Mexico has 32 states.
Nada.
The Spanish between each state differs in minor to middle to somewhat major.
Cero.
The accents the Mexican accents is because of the combination of Spanish with indigenous Nahuatl, as well with some African
So
languages that were of that moment.
okay,
For example, my accent in Costa Rica is has a particular tone to it. Puerto Rico
but y'all
has
don't
a
have an
particular
army though.
tone to it, even though Puerto Rico is a
That's fine.
colony of the United States. Argentina, Colombia, etc. So again, you're confusing grammatical. You're
Bro,
confusing,
okay, so let me ask you this. Is vosotros popular in Latin America?
huh?
Is vosotros popular in Latin America?
In some countries, yes. In others,
No, no,
no.
I'm saying generally, is it popular? Like, do Latin America
Again,
generally
again,
use vosotros?
there's not an hegemonic response.
Oh
In
my
some
God.
countries, yes. In some others, no.
But I
Some
said, I
countries will
said
go with
generally.
two, yeah, and some countries
Okay,
will go with
so
vos.
so watch this. I'm about to come on Puerto Rican board. So it amongst Puerto Ricos, I'm Puerto Ricans.
Puerto
Amongst
Rico is a U.S.
Okay.
U.S. territory, even though they
So
speak
so so I'm
Spanish
gonna
and
call
they
my
have their
Dominican
own
homegirl.
things.
I'm gonna call my Dominican homegirl. So you trying to tell me that they say vosotros?
In some countries, they do. In
I'm saying
others, they
Dominican
don't.
Republic. Dominican Republic. Do they say
Dude,
vosotros?
you're cherry picking like a motherfucker.
I got to. I got to be specific because you're trying to act
Okay,
like
put her
they
on the
don't.
phone. I'll speak to her in Spanish, and
No,
let's
we're
see.
not gonna talk in Spanish. We're gonna talk in English because I just want to know: do they say vosotros amongst themselves in Dominican Republic? Yes or no?
What? Rephrase your question,
Do they say vosotros when they talk?
bro. You asked me first in a general
All
sense
right.
in Latin
Okay.
America.
Because
Yes or no?
I had to pin you
And
down
now
because you
you're
keep running.
just cherry
All
picking
right.
to
Okay.
Dominican.
So
Dominicans
so
do
no more
not speak
cherry
of
picking.
vos. Dominicans speak of tú.
Right.
That's one of the
Right.
countries that speak of two. As I
Exactly.
reinstate,
Thank you for being honest for once in
reinstate
your life. Thank you.
again, like I reinstate, and I
Because
repeated
the
myself
Dominicans, they
because
speak that
you don't want to
real
hear me.
slang
I
Spanish.
said, no, no, look how dishonest
Puerto
and
Ricans speak that
disingenuous.
real slang
Look
Spanish.
how
They're not
dishonest,
trying to be white
again,
and
how
Spaniard.
disingenuous and dishonest you're being. Because you asked me, and you can go back to this recording. You are being a charlatan right now, just like your
Oh,
leader.
shit. Yeah, but you can't prove none of that stuff you talking,
No,
so we don't
first,
mind.
you asked me if Latin America speaks of vos. I told
Yeah.
you some countries, yes,
But
some
I'm saying
countries,
in
no.
general.
In general, I answered you. Some countries do speak of vos, some countries speak of two. That has to do with
Man,
different
majority of them
elements.
say two, man. Majority say two. I call my
As
brother
again,
Samuel
I
right
said,
now. And
some
Sam would
countries
laugh.
speak of vos, some countries speak of two. In my
Yeah.
particular
The
condition, we
minority,
utilize
small
more
minority.
vos.
Yeah, so y'all want to
So
be white. Y'all want to be
no,
colonized.
motherfucker, that doesn't mean anything. It just means that the
All right, so let's bring it back full circle.
two is an impersonal.
Right, it's slang, and that's
No,
what
it's
Latin
not
America
slang.
does.
Okay,
Yes, it is.
you don't know the difference between two y vos.
Vos
You don't know the difference
is
between two y
Spaniard.
vos.
That's Spaniard garbage, man.
Two and vos refer to the same
I know,
pronoun.
but Vos
So
is more. But
two
Vos is
means
more.
it's an informal, while
Right,
vos is an
Vos is formal, and I'm saying that. Right, I know
both
that
of them
part.
are informal. Both of them are second person
No.
singular. Both of them are utilized in different contexts in that sense. To then define and say that two or vos
But I was saying
has to do
vosotros.
with,
I didn't say Vos, by the way. I kept saying vosotros.
it's the same thing. Vos, VOS, is the shortening of vosotros.
Right.
Look,
Oh my God.
dude, you've been trying to speak over a language you do not speak.
Listen, I
You
know
do not know the
vosotros.
grammatical
Yes, I
orders.
do.
You
So
do
when it
not
comes
know
to
anything you're
vosotros, I do know
saying,
that.
and you've been stuck on this point because you've been proven wrong, that you're being
You didn't prove me
disingenuous
wrong.
and you're being a charlatan. That your
Well, we
indication
don't
in
mind your
regards of
claims
two
because
and vos,
you could never back up your claims. But okay, so let's get back
bro,
on track.
bro. I know you're pissed off on the fact that I
I'm
attacked your
not actually.
leader.
I'm having fun over here, bro. You
I'm
making
having
my
fun
day.
too, but the
All right,
problem
so
is
let me ask this question. So
you
you having
got
so
too
much
much
fun?
earwax between those ears, my friend.
Nah,
You're not
I'm just.
listening. You're no
I'm
longer
just.
listening to me. You're
Okay,
not
I heard you.
engaging in that
Okay,
because you're pissed. You're angry
Yeah,
that
hey,
that
Chad, hey,
I
Chad,
have brought down every single one
hey,
of your
Chad, he keeps
arguments.
trying to make me mad, and it's not gonna happen, bro. I'm having a happy night. It ain't gonna happen. I'm
Again,
not mad.
the problem
I'm
is
having a
you
happy
jump
night.
all over the place, my friend. You have no
Yeah,
concrete
I jump around like
arguments.
the House of Pain, like crisscross. I'm a jump. Now look, so let's get back. So what's your problem with FBA, the acronym, Foundational Black American? What's your real white supremacist problem with that? Come on, bro. Be honest.
Well, unlike your leader, the white supremacy agent,
You
Tariq
don't have a
Nasheed,
leader, but
the
go ahead.
scammer, yes, you do.
Oh,
You have
but
a leader.
you can't prove he's
So
a scammer.
again, unlike your leader, I realize that foundational Black American is applicable for all the countries in the Western Hemisphere because
How?
there was involvement in Haiti, in
In
Colombia,
Haiti, but not in
and
America.
everywhere around of
Not
African descendants of slavery or those
yeah,
who
but
were
what they gotta do
directly in slavery
but what they
contributing to
gotta do
the
in this country
independence
though?
and the foundational aspect. The as
Because
I criticize
we're not
openly,
called foundational black
the
Haitians.
problem of the so-called fraudulent delineation provided by the scammer and fraud Tariq Nasheed and your leaders in
He
that
can't
sense.
prove scamming or fraud, but he says it makes him feel good.
I
So
keep on saying it.
that's the
Yeah,
guy.
sure, I'll keep on saying it. Just like
Right. So
you will
that's the
say
guy who's angry.
on
The guy
somebody you
who's
disagree
lying
with.
and
I'll
calling
use the
names.
same
That's the guy
words.
who's typically angry.
I'll say the same words A. Phillips said about Marcus
Yeah,
Garvey
but he was right though. Marcus
against your
Garvey
leader.
was a scammer though.
Yeah, my position is Tariq Nasheed is a scammer,
But can you
a
prove it?
fraud, a charlatan, and that
Okay.
his pushing
All
on this
right.
BS about FBA.
So what is your
It responds
problem
to
with
the supremacy
FBA?
and
Okay,
despotism of the
so but
United States,
what's your
like you
problem?
proved when you felt insulted
What's
in
your
regards
I
of
never felt
your
insulted.
best country in the
What's your
world.
problem?
Yes, you did.
No, we are the best country in the world, and there's no country close.
No, man.
Everybody's shithole
Listen,
compared to us, bro. Let's be honest.
everybody has shithole conditions and everybody has
No,
good
no,
conditions.
no, no,
Your
no,
country's a
no, no.
shithole too. You
No,
have
where?
problems of shithole.
Prove it. Prove it.
Well over 34 million, 40 million people in poverty conditions.
Yeah, but our poverty is rich
The
compared to your shitty ass countries. What are you talking about? Our poverty is
again,
poverty in
see,
a
this is
rich
the
country.
problem.
It ain't
Your
poverty
shitty country,
to a shitty
country.
poor
Look,
country
your shitty
like Costa
mentality
Rica.
as gringos, your shitty mentality as gringos,
I don't even know
allowing
what
you to
gringos is.
even look
What is gringos?
how disingenuous and dishonest
What is
your
gringos?
whole approach is. You are a gringo, a self-centered, loudmouth, supremacy imperialist
Okay.
who pushes forward the agenda that has been impacting systematically the livelihood of people outside of
So
the
if I
United
called you a
States.
possum, so if I called you a possum, would that be name calling?
You can call me whatever you want. I'll still call you gringo.
Okay, now, but no, but
I still call your fucking country in
I'm
every sense
gringo.
of the word of the
I'm
shit
gringo,
things
but
that they
I
have
call
done
you,
for the past.
but I call you
If you want
possum
to
though.
consider, if you as so-called foundational Black American
Do you want to know
ain't
why I call
gonna
you
take
possum?
the funny thing is,
Do you want to know why I
will
call you people
foundational Black
possums?
Americans, as proud as they are of founding that country, of the United States, will they assume the responsibility of the shitty shit
We
that has
are
been
the
done?
best country in the world, and everybody else wants to live here. That's why you want to tie us into this global reparations bullshit that we're not interested
No,
in. That
see,
shit pissing you guys
you've
off.
been tying us to the global bullshit
No,
based on U.S.
we don't want nobody involved in our reparations
Fuck
claim.
your Donald Trump. Fuck your dictator.
I
You
love
want to
Donald
be.
Trump.
Fuck your imperialist bullshit. Your country has its problems like the rest of us.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do.
We don't. Your army, your country doesn't have an army. We don't have that problem.
Well, I mean, you spend $820 billion in your military that since
Yes,
the
and
end
we
of the
kick
war
ass.
has been systematically failing
No, we
from
kick
Korea
ass and
up
we
to
take resources.
Afghanistan. You've been failing the war on drugs.
No, the war on drugs, we ain't never try to stop. This country don't care, but this country promote.
Look. I am glad that you support the corruption in your country, and I
I'm
understand
American.
fully.
I got to take the good with the bad.
No, you don't. You
Yes, I
bullshit
do.
yourself. You bullshit yourself. You've never exited and lived amongst all the countries to have a better, broader sense. That's why you follow charlatans and scammers and
Well, I don't
bullshitters like
follow
Derek
anybody.
Eastman.
But
You
I think
do,
what
you do follow him.
I tell you what I do. No, I don't follow him because if I follow him, I would be anti-vaccines, and I've said I'm fully vaccinated.
So
since my
again,
son.
the problem
Okay,
is
and
it
he's
doesn't.
not. So that means I don't follow him. You lied about that.
So
Okay.
So this is interesting. You would agree that at least in this position of anti-vaccine, your leader is a charlatan, correct? That
No, I
Tariq
think
Nasheed is a charlatan.
no, I just think he's just wrong on that right there.
Okay.
Because he's
So
a
if he's
human
wrong
being, and
and
he's not a leader. You
okay.
dig?
So
I'm a
you
leader. Right?
you excuse someone like that. See, that's the problem, my man.
I don't see the
That's
problem, and you're doing a
that's the
bad job of
problem.
pointing it out.
Precisely because you don't see it.
What is the problem?
The problem is you told me that you
And why is
were
it so expensive to live in
okay.
Costa Rica?
Hold
I'm
on.
looking at it up.
Let me tell you.
It says,
Let me tell you in this sense. Oh yeah, it's expensive to
damn,
live here.
why? You ain't got shit over there.
Oh, we got a lot of stuff, but there
Like
are
what? You ain't got no army?
conditions in that sense. However, we're not talking about Costa Rica right now. Let's focus on to
I know
this
you
sense.
not.
Yeah, another day we
Yo,
can
they
have the
can't.
conversation.
Yo,
Look,
them guys don't
if
got an
you want me
army.
to say
That's
something that's
crazy.
as simple as this, and I've been trying to say, I did try to say
How do
that
you
earlier
defend your
on.
resources? Anybody can invade y'all, just take over your
Costa
country.
Rica's actual president, Rodrigo Chavez, is another scammer, bullshitter,
No, he's not.
sex abuser,
Chavez
etc.
was a real goddamn man.
Rodrigo Chavez. You don't even know who the fuck Rodrigo
I
Chavez
do know
is.
he is. That was
Who
a real
is he?
man.
Who
You
is he?
just said it. Named Rigo Chavez.
Oh man, see, this is the problem.
That
You're
was a
such
real man.
look. What's funny on me is that first, in the historical context or a historical analysis, you lacked knowledge. Second, for example, you got pissed off when I touched
I
the
never got
nerves
pissed
of
off.
in regards
I'm
of your
still
leader.
laughing.
Two, third, you try to explain to somebody who's a native speaker of Spanish or
You're wrong.
Castellano in regards of the difference between
You're
tu and
wrong.
vos.
You
And
don't know
you
because
tried to
when I said I called
gaslight
my
in
Puerto
that
Rican
sense,
friend, you
but
said
you
no, they don't count.
failed. You failed because you tried to play the game. You had no basis, no knowledge onto it, and now you're also your emotions are touched because
My emotions are touched.
yeah, your emotions are
When
touched
you are
in the sense
mad as
of
hell, I'm not mad.
no, I'm not mad. I've been speaking very
You've been
caused.
no. You call me
I
gringo.
do
You
elevate my
call
voice
me.
because it shows when I want to
You
make
did the name
an
calling first.
emphasis in
You a
that sense.
gringo. You a gringo. I
No,
don't
yeah,
care about your
I'm gonna
racist
still
terms,
calling
man.
you gringo in that sense because your mentality shows to us yet
Brother,
again that the gringo
I don't
mentality is
care about your racist terms, man.
it's not a racist term, it's a
Yes, it is.
reclamation
No,
term
it's not.
against the impacts of your foreign policy as a country and the
Yeah.
impacts towards our country that have fueled the what you guys call badly illegal migration, the irregular migration towards your country. And this whole notion about we're the best country in the world, I'm just gonna say it out loud. Stop bullshitting yourself. You have no fucking clue. You're only repeating what the white man wants you to repeat. That's it. And just like Tariq Nasheed, who functions as that pushing towards the white man. So the point being here, my friend.
Let me ask you a question.
What time is it? Oh shit!
Yeah, I'm
almost.
gonna get off too.
Yeah, I gotta go work tomorrow.
Wait, before you get off.